Can you believe we've made it to the finale, Bree?
I honestly never thought it would happen because it felt like it wouldn't.
It's been a while, dear friends. But we promised we would finish Warrior Nun, and we kept with our promises. We're sorry for the delay. Life got in the way, but some interesting stuff has happened in the interim that we wouldn't have been able to talk about otherwise. So, like, it kind of worked out. The universe was speaking to us, I think.
Talk around, whatever. Anyway, life's a bitch, and then you record the last episode for season 2 of Warrior Nun.
Yeah, that's in the gospel somewhere, I'm pretty sure. But before we get into like Warrior Nun news and the amazing finale, since this is probably going to be our last Warrior Nun episode for like the foreseeable future, question mark, just want to thank everybody who's been on this journey with us with all of our Warrior Nun content. We really appreciate you. Everybody in this fandom is so passionate, and we appreciate for everybody interacting with us and, you know, encouraging us to keep doing interviews and making content. So thank you all. We wouldn't be here without your support.
Yes,
if you'd like to keep supporting us, we're not going to stop making content. We're just going to shift to other pieces of queer media, other artists, etc. So please subscribe on all the things, YouTube, Spotify, wherever you're listening or watching. If you are listening on Apple Podcasts, please download the episodes. It helps us get into the algorithm. And I tried searching us on Apple for Warrior Nun, and like some weird stuff comes up. So like, please download episodes to help us like get into the algorithm, because like actual Warrior Nun content doesn't come up. It's like weird alpha male podcast. So like,
what?
Yeah, it's weird. So like
that hurts me.
Help some gays out, please.
Please.
Yeah, because it's really like if somebody's trying to find a Warrior Nun podcast, it's really hard if you're just searching Warrior Nun. Weirdly, I found that
bizarre.
Yeah, help us out there. And if you can leave reviews anywhere, that'd be really helpful. Kaitlynn has us doing this new word of the day challenge. So if you don't know what to say, you're like, I never know what to say in a review, stick to the end of the episode. I will give you a challenge to write in your review. So something to look forward to.
I love it.
Yeah. And then, yeah, interact with us. We're on all the social medias at Big Gay Energy Pod. So just come find us and talk to us and tell us what you'd like us to talk about next.
Yeah. We want to talk about things that you guys want to hear about, and as well as stuff that makes our hearts happy. So
yeah, no, totally, because we have found some cool stuff from suggestions from all of you. So like, please give us new suggestions for new queer media to just enjoy in general. So
absolutely.
All right, plenty of stuff to look forward to. So speaking of things to look forward to, big news that happened in the interim of us recording was updates with the Save Warrior Nun campaign. So, Bree, what happened?
Okay, well, lots of things, but so the very exciting thing that happened, there was a big announcement that we're getting 3 feature films, which was a shocking to me. I was like, wait, we're getting things for once in result of a campaign that happened that fans absolutely poured so much energy and fight into. Things are happening. What the hell? So that was huge and exciting. We didn't get a lot of details, obviously, and unfortunately this all happened right as the writers and actors were about to go on strike, because fucking capitalism. And
yes, very important point. Yes, like this announcement happened in the middle of the writer strike. It was already happening, and then the actor strike started like right around this time this was announced. Remember that.
Yes, for God's sakes, pay these people and give them decent working conditions.
They're fucking real. Like, why?
I know the WGA has a deal in hand, but it's still, good Lord, they're suffering from the same thing that all industries or all workers in industries are suffering from with post modern capitalism. So show them some love, and we've been trying to do that as well. But so we got these 3 feature films, not a lot of info about what's going to happen with them, and then we were just waiting for another announcement. I don't know what to. It's a thing. Theora.
So here's the deal. So yeah, all of that is true. But the person that made the announcement, his name is Dean something. Dean something. I don't bother to know this man's last name. So he's the person who owns the rights to the Warrior Nun comics. So like, remember, this is a property that started as a comic book series from like the 90s and then was adapted into a television series by Netflix. Okay. And so the people we're hearing about this new project from are the people that own the rights to the comic books, and another person named Ben Dunn, who I'm going to talk about, that started the comic book. So like, these are comic book creators who are essentially, in their announcement, they basically said, Dean said we're going to continue the Warrior Nun universe and continue the Warrior Nun story. So it's not specific as to like what that means, obviously. But I would imagine, since the creators that are involved are coming from the comic books versus
Dean
Netflix.
English it's Dean English, right?
Correct. That's his last name.
Was a producer on the show.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean he owns the rights to the show. Like, Netflix owns the rights to the show.
No, he doesn't. I'm just saying that Dean English was involved with the show as like a producer. Whatever.
Yeah.
That's
a producer. That can mean anything.
Well, yeah. I don't know that Dean English was involved with the comic books, was he?
It's my understanding he owns the rights to them.
Okay. Well, I just meant like making the books.
Yeah, no. The creator of the comic books is someone named Ben Dunn, who we're going to talk about. But the key is that, like, my whole thing with this is, like, first of all, congratulations to all the Warrior Nun fans and campaigns that like made enough noise to like even get this to happen, because this is so rare. Like Bree said, like, initial excitement because something actually came out of a campaign, that alone is a win. What we will get from this is really uncertain at this point. Like, to me, this was a super premature announcement. I think that was designed to just keep fan engagement, because this is all relying on fan engagement, truly. Because at this stage, there is still a actor strike going on. The writers just got like the okay from their union to start working less than 2 weeks ago. So at this point, there's no way in hell that this project has anything. Like, they can't, because they couldn't have hired writers, and you can't lock down any actors. And that's going to impact like what the story is going to be. So like, we keep getting quote unquote announcements that are really vague, because I think this is like a half-baked idea at this point. It's not fully formed. So like, who knows? Like, maybe they can get the rights from Netflix and like, you know, continue that story. This could possibly just ditch all of that and just be comic exclusive, which means like it would follow the characters the comic books have rights to, which means we would lose some Netflix original characters, which would make the gays really sad. But like, we don't know anything, and I don't think they know anything, to be quite honest with you. So I'm pessimistically optimistic about this, because we don't know anything, truly.
Yeah.
What we do know, though, is the internet like detectives have found Ben Dunn's Facebook that he uses religiously. Red flag. So I found some disturbing stuff about this man.
Okay. See, this is the stuff that Theora did not want me to read.
I did not. I wanted Bree's genuine reaction to some of this shit. So there's a lot. I highly encourage you to go find this dude's Facebook, Ben Dunn, Dunn. Because there's some problematic shit on there about this man, and he's been posting on there about this new trilogy. So like, he's going to be involved with, like, he's in the creator's room with this, which is the thing I'm most concerned about. So I'm just going to cherry pick the shit I found that pisses me off the most. And really, we're going to start with the worst one, in my opinion.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, Bree, I want your reaction. I'm going to read it, dear listeners.
Okay.
And so if you haven't heard or seen, listen up. So this is from Ben Dunn, September 22nd, 2022. It says, so I'm reading over some scripts and listening to some podcasts, and they were talking about a new Marvel character called Sunspider. Now, apparently this character is disabled, but somehow is able to do all the things a spider can. Oh, you know where this is going. It occurred to me how ridiculous disabilities are in a superhero universe that contains super science, mutants, gods, aliens, monsters, demons, etc. In thinking about it, wouldn't almost all diseases and disabilities be wiped out? Am I off base on this? What is the logic that these things could not be wiped out if people can go back in time and hop to various dimensions? So, what do you think, Bree?
I think that even though he mentions thinking in this post, he was not.
Yep.
And or if he
Whoa.
was, it was only from the most ableist perspective that he could muster.
Oh, the raging ableism. So like that one pissed me off the most because that's just like frank ableism.
It's just like, and it's even like trying to frame it from I'm coming at this from an intellectual standpoint.
Okay, yes, I'm glad you said it that way because there's all this crap. This is slightly off topic, but on topic. There's all this stuff going on about like, you know, Dax Shepard, the guy that's married to Kristen Bell.
Absolutely.
Yeah. What and he does this exact shit on his podcast.
Contrarian bullshit.
Yes. No, but it's not even that. It's like the framing of like I'm saying something problematic, but trying to sound like I'm being rational about it. Yeah. So that's what this gives me. It gives me
posing an intellectual question.
Yes.
No, you're not. You're being a dickhead.
Exactly. So that's this guy. And then okay, I need to share with you in the chat.
Okay.
Here's the other more prominent thing that this guy's been doing in the realm of misogyny. Because remember, he created the comic. So here's this for you, Bree.
Okay. I'm gonna click on this.
After you look at it, I will explain it to the people listening at home. If you're on YouTube, I'll pop it up.
Sister Beatrice is like the Netflix version of Sister Suzuki.
And then there's a picture of what Ben drew as Sister Suzuki.
What is this?
Yeah. It's misogyny.
I thought I honestly I could not tell what was going on in the upper half here until I realized that those are supposed to be her boobs.
Yep.
Those look like fucking balloons that he got from the Dollar Tree.
Oh yeah, no, all of his women are like that.
Also, what is up with the whole belt, the yin and yang belt thing going on?
I don't know. Okay, so yeah, basically, like it's a picture of a hypersexualized nun with unrealistic body parts.
And absolutely no clothing.
And no clothes on. And this is supposed to be okay. So in the comic books, there is no sister Beatrice. Remember that. There is no sister Beatrice. So Netflix owns Beatrice. I'm just going to throw that out there. So this is like the character that maybe Beatrice was like essentially like, I don't know.
Most like, I guess.
Yeah, like they took this character and were just like, we'll make this into a different character. It's like based off of her or whatever. And like Ben doesn't even know. He's like, I don't know. That would be cool. So like this man clearly wasn't involved with Netflix, as what I'm assuming from this post. So there's that. And there's a bunch of stuff in here. I saw one post too where he's like, oh my God, yeah, this one pissed me off too. Okay, so keep going. So the misogyny is the thing that I'm really worried about. And people who have like read the comics and there's like pictures from the comics, this type of like hypersexualization of the females in the comic is not uncommon. It's pretty much the norm. Okay, I'm going to summarize this one for you, Bree. I've just shared it. This is the one that pissed me off the most. So Ben starts with like, hey, I'm Asian. I'm from Taiwan. This is strictly a theory. But a reason that current day superheroes are failing in China is they're not, quote, not attractive. What do I mean by that? Well, when it comes to movies, Asians tend to be very superficial. They go to movies to escape and want to see attractive, good-looking, quote, people. Don't get me wrong, I'm not slamming the hard work actors and actresses who are doing their best, but it seems the loss of box office started when makers of these movies were no longer making them, quote, sexy. So if there is a reboot of Warrior Nun and this man is involved, I'm scared because I think that costume and wardrobe did create attractive outfits for these people. It's just for practical people who are fighting, not ones where their like boobs are falling out of their clothes, which is what this guy wants. So I'm scared about if he's involved with like that aspect of it.
Watching his little video where he's calling on people to enter that contest.
Yes, so stupid.
Not having known anything about him, the only gut feeling I got was he's so out of touch that it's not even funny.
Yes.
And B, he's just absolutely, he gives me the skeeves.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. The fact that this man is still using Facebook as his primary like social media source should tell you everything you need to know. So I'm like boomer energy immediately. Then I read more of his stuff about this whole like Asian culture, and it's basically like a way to like rationalize the hypersexualization of women in his comic books. That's basically what these posts are all about. But I'm like, this is such boomer energy. It's not even funny. He had a whole post about how like, well, I'm really glad my dad escaped like where he grew up and like we became such good capitalists and blah blah. I'm like, oh dear. Oh dear.
Oh, no.
It's just the more I read, the more it gets worse. So like the fact that this man is involved concerns me a lot. And he's been posting stuff about like what's going on in the writer's room, like, or not the writer's room, whatever the creator's room is. There's talk about like potentially making this an AI generated movie versus like, yeah, having actual and just having voice actors, and maybe there'll be different voice actors. So like, again, this is like a half-baked scheme at this point, is all we actually know. But like the stuff that this man is leaking about it is not great sounding from like where we're at and like what fans I think expected to happen, which like I think may have been a little bit unrealistic to like think that the movies were going to pick up exactly where Netflix left off when like Netflix owns that property, and Netflix is very notorious for not giving up the rights to their originals. So like I think that's really an unrealistic expectation unless Netflix is doing the movies. There's gonna have to be changes. Like there's no way. Like legally, there is gonna have to be changes from like what we're used to in the show. But what this man's been saying, I'm hoping it's untrue, but it doesn't sound great.
This entire thing just feels like they're taking what was created and exploiting it for their own gain is just what it feels like.
That is what it feels like.
And I'm saying that from the little information we have now and what
we're not
people
experts.
have. Yeah, like I am not an expert at all in the history of comic books and the portrayal of women in comic books. I just
that's such a good way to put it. But yeah.
Totally. Honestly, it makes me feel like we're like one more entity is using the queer fandom.
Yes. No, that's what it feels like. At this point, it feels like we're being used. I think that like we as a group had high hopes, after all the fighting for this. And that's not wrong. And it's like now the expectations aren't being met. But like it seems like it's like a worse deal than what I was hoping for personally. So like that's how I feel. Like again, we don't really know anything, but like a little bit of information we have coming out is concerning, is all that
I also think they don't understand that if they do mess this up, the fans that they're counting on to be there are gonna.
Dude, that's my thing. I'm like, okay, you can't like royally fuck this up and then be like, there'll be 3 movies. I'm like, will there? Because if the first one flops, there's nothing else. You're dead.
You're getting nothing. If you fuck this up.
If you wanted to make money off of this in this like dire situation but I think the thing is like, at least from this man's perspective, it's like his whole thing is like, well, if we made them sexier, quote unquote, we'd do better in the numbers. So I think that this guy is like, well, Simon tried marketing this to women and it didn't work. So like, let's market this to men, like hypersexualized women, because that's what works in Asia, quote unquote, which I don't even know if that's true. That's just according to this man. So yeah, it's
well, he started a sentence with "I'm Asian" and
right.
from Taiwan,
racist,
so he's already like,
here's some racist shit.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so like, yeah, this dude seems hella problematic. Yeah, and it does at this point feel like the fans were used.
I honestly think we're back to fan fiction.
I agree. I'm kind of over it at this point. Would have been nice. Will we cover it? Maybe we'll hate watch it if it's bad and just rant about it, and that'll be the end.
Oh, I'm sure if they're gonna like if they're going to go with this kind of mentality, they're going to really mess up any queer storylines they have.
Oh my god.
So we're going to have to like,
yeah, for sure. Which
deconstruct that.
Yeah, absolutely. So
sorry, I'm rolling up my sleeves already. Let's go.
Bree's ready. So either way, like we'll probably cover it. Either it's good and we're happy about it, or we will hate rant about it. So that you guys don't have to watch it.
If you want a preview of that kind of thing, go watch our thing on the happiest season.
Yeah, we will hate watch queer media. It's fine. If it's shit, it's shit. It's fine. So that was the big announcement. So like again, like everybody in this fandom, you guys did a great job. Like to even get something like this is really, it's a win. It's the power. It shows the power of this fandom. Like the ultimate outcome, will be what it is. Like we said, that's all we know. I really don't think the creators know what they're doing. I think this is just a premature thing to keep people interested, and keep people tweeting about it, keep the engagement to make this marketable. But you guys did a great job. We all did. So we should be proud of our collective power because we did do something.
I did notice that Simon was real quick to be like, not mine.
Yeah. Yep. So, but again, like it's really early. Like who knows? Yeah. Maybe who's involved will change.
This could get turned around. Idea. But we just don't want, I wouldn't want to have expectations that are too high for what's going to happen because we've had that so many times and it just disappoint. I think that we should really celebrate the fact that the fandom got this far.
Yeah, exactly.
And take that as the win.
Yeah. No, I agree. Our collective power is a force to be reckoned with. Give it that. So, but who knows? This is an ever evolving situation. So hope for the best, plan for the hate watching. Or the worst, it's just that there is no movie. It just dies because it's so bad. Anyway, but what we do have is an incredible, incredible television show that was super well done. And we are here to talk about the very last episode of We're in Netflix's version. So shall we get into it, Bree?
We shall, because I woke up to cold temperatures so I could put on my gay ass flannel and come for this gay ass episode.
Yeah, we're like opposite gays. It's like cold where Bree's at. So Bree's ready for like her cabin in the woods adventure. And then for some reason where I live is having a quote heat wave. So it's like hot for me.
Well, Theora.
Yes.
Actually, I'm cosplaying as the couch in their apartment.
Okay. Bree's the Avatrice couch with her flannel. And then I wore the shirt Kaitlynn got me, which is the Beatrice
dance bar scene. Yes.
Yes. I promised I'd wear it for the very last episode.
Amazing.
Where we are cosplaying our favorite characters.
Yes. You just go watch the bar scene again and you'll see the shirt like Theora's is rocking the Beatrice.
Yeah, and if you go watch our reaction and or discussion, you'll just hear me talk about, damn, I really like that shirt.
Yeah, like it was like Theora's takeaway from the episode.
That's a good shirt. Anyway, so thank you, Kaitlynn, who reached out to Christina.
Yeah, like talk to Christina and
thanks, Christina.
Wardrobe and everything.
Yeah, wardrobe. I think she reached out to wardrobe too. So we are in our cosplay outfits and we are ready to get on with the finale. So how does it start? In the finale, we pick back up with Ava in the bad place, the deep, dark, bad place, surrounded by snarling Tarrasque demons. And she's like, okay, all right, you guys seem angry, but like, I'm good. I'm a good person. I'm not here to fight you. Let's chill out a bit. And as she's trying to like bargain with these mindless demons, a voice in the far distance is like, stop.
Stop.
Stop. What is it? Okay, I'm sad we don't know enough about Rhea because like, what is this accent?
Yeah, I know.
Stop. Stop. It's so just like dramatic and is the best. And so they stop, and then of course the stop harkens a light at the end of the tunnel, the column of demons, and lo and behold, we get to see Rhea. So she appears to Ava in this deep, dark, bad place, and she's talking to her demons, and she's like, "Let her come on to me." And with that, the demons like vanish back into like the even badder place, like their OG realm, leaving Ava and Rhea alone. And at this point, Ava gets a really good old glimpse of Rhea in all her white hot glory. Like, it's a crime against Sappho that we don't get more about Rhea, because I like what I'm seeing. Okay, I like it.
You see, this. I had a whole point, and then you erased it from my brain with your white hot whateverness.
I mean, she's all in white. She's glowing. Like, she came to slay. And like Ava repeats, Ava is me, and she repeats "holy shit" a bunch of times, and then we cut to a title card.
Yeah. Ava, you got a woman.
I know, but she's like
damn. Overwhelmed by the. Well, I imagine she has some crazy off the charts energy as well.
Yeah, I can only imagine. I wonder if she can sense stuff with the halo. One interesting part from this exchange too is that Ava refers to the Trax demons as gatekeepers, which I thought was interesting. I'm entirely sure what that's all about. Like, are they guarding something in the other realm, or they guarding Rhea? I'm not really.
That was my take. I was like, the only thing I can think, since we don't know anything about the other realm, is that they're guarding Rhea. They're gatekeepers for access to her.
Yeah, I think that makes sense in the same way that like the Wraith demons are like quote unquote gatekeepers for like Adriel and like his interests.
So it would make sense that she would send them after the halo, because they're like her personal guard. So
yeah, okay, that makes sense. Because up till now, like what we have confirmed is that they're there to fetch the halo. But yeah, gatekeeper was an interesting term. So yeah, I like that.
It was very interesting. So yeah, that was. Anytime you send Ava into the deep dark place, she always has a nice couple of quips to say that make everything a little bit lighter. So
humor is her coping mechanism.
Yes, it is.
It is
it's mine as well. So
relatable, Ava.
Yes. All right. Do you have anything else for that?
No. Let's move on.
All right, listen. So when we come back, we have Beatrice pushing the not hot priest up against the wall with what seems like the full force of an army in her 2 fingers.
Yes, let's hydrate for Beatrice and Leslie Jesus in that moment.
Like, seriously, you hear like you have a little like there are noises where you can tell how hard she's supposed to be on his freaking trachea.
Okay, and then after that, when he's talking to her, like he's so out of breath. So like she's crushing his windpipe for like
I'm shocked that she didn't like break his like
yeah.
Anyway, moving on. Okay, he manages to choke out that Ava chose this before Michael, party pooper bomb boy, tells her to let him speak. And I'm like, let her choke him a little more, please. We've needed this.
Yeah.
You know, this is my coping mechanism. Beatrice choking the shit out of the not hot priest.
Yes, same.
Good Lord. Anyway, there's an audible thwack when she retracts her fingers of doom.
Yeah.
And he starts telling his story of woe after some prompting from Michael that he turned on Eurotrash Jesus, and I'm definitely not giving Michael credit for that name. He can fuck off.
Yeah, for real.
Just saying. Nothing against you, bomb boy.
We said it
first. So he turned against Eurotrash Jesus when he killed Doretti because he realized he done fucked up real bad by turning his back on the Order of the Cruciform Sword, the nuns, etc. So he speaks about being manipulated by a power and turning his back on the power that was entrusted to him. And that to me gives you insight into what he values.
Yeah.
Power. So his brain works in the terms of power and who has power rather than what power actually is.
You know what? That's a really good point. I didn't think about that. It kind of reminds me of like, because remember like his backstory too is that like he was a drinker and things like that. So I wonder if like he's like a gambling kind of person. Because that's what that sounds like to me.
That's the vibe I always gotten from him, that he was somebody that kind of fell in with crowds that did like petty crime type things and got involved with, which could have very possibly been gambling stuff and things of that nature. So that's just what I got from the way he talks about that whole situation.
Yeah.
And
I like that.
Yeah. So he tells them that Ava's after a secret weapon to end Adriel in the whole empty crown dreamscape from hell. And
that's such a good description.
And that he took the crown from from Adriel's whatever for her, and that she sought him out, and they have to let this run their course. And I say, you can shut the fuck up. Choke him again, Beatrice. So, Beatrice is not on the trust train with non-hot priest.
She wants to choke him out more.
But Dora, who just showed up 10 minutes ago, is like, I believe him.
What?
Bitch, who are you?
I know this guy. Okay, first of all, how are you like, I trust him? Because how did we get here, Dora? Like, the warrior nun is like unconscious on a bed. This strange man is like in the room that you know is working with Adriel, and you're just like, yeah, I trust him. Like, girl, what?
I trust him. I think he's telling the truth. And I'm like, did you get your truth-o-meter from like Truth R Us? Because ma'am.
Seriously, what? That was the most crazy line in the scene.
Yeah, like, I was like, what? Where did you come from? And if I was Beatrice, I would be like, ma'am, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you need to leave.
You need to, like, in the Beatrice way, though. You know, she's much more.
Quite frankly, you're wrong.
Quite frankly, I believe you're wrong, and you must now leave.
Yeah, let me.
I'll join you for tea later. I don't know why she's a British lady now. I mean, like a super high class British lady now, but
I mean, you know, dare to dream.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Beatrice drinks tea, so it works.
She do.
So yeah, Dora believes him, and and I don't think that obviously Beatrice is not on the total.
No,
I believe him too.
No
thing. So she wants to know how the hell they're gonna know when to take the crown off of Ava's head, because she can't do it herself. So
yeah,
how do you know when she's done? Is it like a Thanksgiving turkey? Does a little thing pop up to tell you?
Like the lid starts like blinking.
Yeah, it's like
power low.
Hell dreamscape, time over. Is she coming out of the Matrix? I don't understand. Like, would she need a pill? Here we are.
Here we are
in the land of what the fuck.
Yeah.
How are we gonna get Ava out of there? But whatever. Actually, Ava solves that problem for them by just like sitting up in the background, and the way she does it, her legs are so straight, and it's like a little doll. And I'm like, that's creepy.
No, it was so creepy. It was like horror movie where like they're like, what are we gonna do with this dead body? And like the dead body's like reanimating behind them. And they don't
exactly.
Yeah.
I was like, are she gonna like pop? Because you know those videos where the cat like is one place and then the camera goes like this and comes back. I was like, is she gonna pop up right behind Beatrice's shoulder?
And just be like, hello, dear.
Hello, I'm back.
And then like Beatrice punches her back. So like, she's like on high alert. Like,
that's the funny version of that scene. So yeah, that was like, I was like, girl, you look weird back there, but this is creepy. Ava wakes up and she's fine now. And she understands what she has to do. But she here's the thing. When she says, I understand now what I have to do, I'm like, the look on your face tells me that you don't, because it's obviously not running away with the nun of your dreams.
Yeah.
So
that was the only right answer.
That was the only right answer to that question. And you know, she could have skipped the Eurotrash Jesus rave, but apparently whatever Rhea said to her back in the hellish dreamscape.
Yes. Okay. I have a question about that. So like, okay, so presumably while all this drama is going down with like Beatrice, Dora, and the not hot priest, Ava is like alone talking to Rhea in the dreamscape hell. I wonder what Rhea showed her or told her.
It has to be the same thing she's been showing Michael.
Okay. Yes. That's what I had in my notes. Yeah. I think, keep going. Sorry.
I just assume that whatever has reconvinced since Michael saw Rhea's face and was like, oh shit, yeah, she right. I better get back on track and not have a life anymore. Like whatever it is has to be such strong evidence that this is the way that they have to go, or it's the biggest manipulation scam thing of all time, which I wouldn't put past Rhea because we don't know anything about this bitch.
Yeah. I like that. I'm leaning towards the latter. So I think that, I agree. I think she played whatever ploy she did with Michael to convince him to be a suicide bomb. But I think Rhea customized whatever it was for Ava.
Oh, yeah.
And like, what does Ava value more than her own life? The life of the people she loves. And later, or at some point, Michael confirmed that Rhea can like see into the future because she saw the suicide bomb plan happen. He's like, therefore it's going to happen. So I think maybe either Rhea was like talking to her, because like if you tell Ava something, that's not going to convince her. So I wonder if Rhea showed Ava like maybe the aftermath of defeating Adriel with the suicide bomb, like particularly like what would happen to Beatrice. Like if you go through this plan, like Beatrice would get the chance to like live on her own terms, like what Ava wants for Beatrice. Like, but remember when she's like, hey, let's run away together. Like you can like live your life and stuff. Like, I think Ava deep down really wants that for Beatrice. And it's like, if I'm the warrior nun and she's tethered to me, she won't do it. So I think maybe this is what Rhea shows her. And I think that's why like we get the speech later with Ava when she's saying all that stuff, like live your life. I wonder if she got a glimpse of that and was like, wow, if I do this, like she'll be better off in the long run kind of thing.
Yeah. When in reality, there are about 93,652 different possible futures.
Absolutely.
And Rhea's just showing her the one that helps her case.
Or like, let's say Ava just does whatever the fuck she wants because she's Ava and that's the outcome regardless, you know? Like, yeah. So yeah, I agree. I think this was a manipulation playing on Ava's emotions more so than a rational kind of thing. Cause like that would be the most effective way to convince Ava to do something she's pretty against doing.
Yep.
You know? Anyhow.
Yeah, absolutely. Because she's been shorted her entire life. When I say that, I mean literally shorted of life. Like she's had life taken away from her. And now she was not a fan of making a decision where she didn't have control over whether she continued having a life or not. And now she's just like, okay, I accept that this is how it has to be.
Yeah, now that fits very much with her like season 1 journey and then going into the season 2 journey where she's learning to be selfless. So like this is a good like full circle arc for Ava to like have her like again be so convinced that like putting others first is the right thing for her to do at the cost of her own like life basically. So
absolutely.
Yeah. Is that all for that scene?
Yep.
Okay, cool. So let's shoot over to Ava. who is now, so she's fine, I guess, from being in the hellscape, and then she's now chilling on this like medieval balcony, getting some fresh air, just looking at the world, trying to soak it all in, and the camera's like lingering on her for a while, and she has this like sad look on her face, like she's trying to like take in the world and the beauty of like life one last time before it's like over. She's like savoring this moment of just being alive, because now she knows what she has to do. Ava has been showed the truth, and she's going to pay the ultimate price. And so as she's contemplating that, like Michael joins her and tells her what she did was brave. And Ava's like, well, yeah, I guess, but I'm a danger to myself and like others, which is a line that comes directly from her conversation with Beatrice. So like, again, Ava's just been ruminating on a bunch of stuff. And now like, because of how dangerous she perceives herself, like all the people she loves, Camilla and Yasmine, are still like MIA, like, or dead. She thinks they're dead. So is everybody else. And, because Ava feels like it was her personal failing for like not getting the crown on Adriel, and how like sideways that whole mission went. But to be fair, Ava, girl, it's partially Beatrice's fault. Because she saved you and thus defeated the whole putting the crown on Adriel thing. So this was a very catch-22 situation that just ultimately didn't end with the ultimate goal, which was like incapacitating Adriel. So Ava's beating herself up about that big time. Now that she knows that, like, well, because I fucked up, I have to like sacrifice myself for real to get this done because Rhea said so. And Ava tells basically Michael like a vague version of that, like Brad told me what's going on. So she we're having this kind of character growth with Ava, which we talked about. And basically these two have like this friendly stare down with each other, like they're making this pact. And Ava says, I love my friends. This has to work. And Michael's like, friends, quote, sure, Ava. I know you're talking about Beatrice, but yeah, sure, whatever. It's going to work. Rhea thought, so like, it's totally going to happen. Like, you don't have to convince me. I'm a believer. And it was like, great. Now we have a plan, but we have to keep this suicide thing between us because otherwise my quote friends, aka Beatrice, will interfere with this plan because it ends with us dying. And Michael's like, yep, nope, she scares me. I agree. And then he shifts his tone into something a little bit more ominous and says that like, I have something to tell you about the arc. And then the scene rudely cuts away before he can finish that. So they're plotting.
Listen, I don't have many notes for this scene other than nope.
I
know. But I really do enjoy the Ava character development.
Yes.
And there's actually a lot of it in this episode that comes to fruition, and it's just really good writing, which is, kind of remarkable in this day and age that good writing gets on a screen.
Oh my God, that good writing gets on a screen, and then you can get the payoff in like 8 episodes, that is highly challenging.
Yes, especially for a show that's based around female leads with a queer storyline, and it's like the holy grail that comes around every once in 3,000 blue moons. But
yeah, agreed. Yeah, I agree with you. My big takeaway from the scene was just like the depth of Ava's character growth, and the fact that these two, like, they're almost getting on equal footing in terms of like they have a shared belief at this point, kind of thing.
Yes.
So I think Michael also believes similarly to Ava that like I'm doing this for the greater good because, I think we get into the conversation later with him and his mom, but like basically he lived his entire life, like childhood life, with his mom sacrificing everything for him. So I think for him, this is a way for him to like pay that debt back, to be like, well, I can pay her back by like sacrificing my life so she can live, kind of thing. So like Ava and Michael to me seem to have similar motives.
They do.
I think that's what's really bonding them.
Yes, and that's also what that scene was about. But I would really like both of them to unsubscribe from Rhea's YouTube channel, please.
Absolutely. Poor Michael, I think he tried to unsubscribe and then the channel found him and he's like, fuck, I pressed play by accident.
Y'all can come subscribe to Big Gay Energy, get off the Rhea channel.
Yeah, no, we're not gonna mind manipulate you into whatever they're doing. We're just have a gay old time.
Exactly. We'll be watching. We'd be like chilling with you and stuff. So but alas, here we are. So I guess we'll go on to Ava being kind of a badass in explanation mode. So we've got Ava explaining her vision from the crown to all of the nuns that are left, Michael and the not hot priest. And the vision was not Queen Elizabeth ascending to the throne because the crown. Yeah,
I was like, she died. What? she don't ascend no more. I love The Crown. That's a great show.
It's a great show.
Not queer, but great.
Not queer, but great. I do. It was a good one. Anyway, but rather that Adriel is a fugitive after a failed coup on the other side, but that didn't work out. So he's now going to bring over enough wraith demons to enslave everybody and party like it's 1999.
Which we now know is when the comics came out and was a problematic time.
Yes, Y2K for wraith demons. That's what Y2K was. The wraith demons were supposed to show up.
Yeah. Damn.
So we have like a little like everybody's gonna step in and give a little speech kind of situation because Mother Superior steps in and is like, we're gonna embrace the chaos, become BFFs with it, and
just let it happen.
So we're just gonna go with it.
Fine.
And then Ava tells them that the halo fails when she's near Adriel's cross. And B points out that, okay, well, that means we got to take the cross out. That's priority number 1.
Boom.
Yes, agree. So they're gonna go rescue Yasmine and Camilla, destroy the cross, fuck up Adriel's shit. That last part was a quote. Fuck up Adriel's shit.
Yep.
Thank you, Ava.
Yep.
So they're about to head out because they're going to do this right the fuck now.
Yep.
And so everybody needs to go get ready. And Beatrice has her girlfriend instinct on since she knows that Ava like the back of her hand. And, well, she knows Ava like the back of her lethal right hand. And since she spent all that time studying her, like gal pals do.
Absolutely. With plaid couches.
Plaid couches.
Come on, Beatrice.
Paint me like your plaid couch.
Wait, where were they again? They were in Switzerland.
The Alps.
Yes. Paint me like your Swiss Alps, girl.
Paint me like your Swiss Alps. Anyway. Mother Superior is in agreement with Beatrice on this, and she's like, she's like Shannon before the end, which means girl got a mission, and she's going to do what it takes to get the mission done, even if it means she's dead. And
it also means she has a girlfriend. I'm just saying that was Shannon at the end.
Shannon at the end had a girlfriend, Mary. Mary shouting you out. So that all looks like it gives Beatrice heartburn.
For real. She's like, why would you say this to me?
You know we're in love.
I know.
Stop. Everyone knows we're in love.
I know, for real. It's everywhere. The wraith demons know.
Yeah. For real. Adriel's secretary knows. Okay.
And knows. She's like, how do I manipulate Ava, Beatrice?
Yeah. Beatrice. So here's what's gonna happen to Beatrice.
Yes.
Listen.
Your friend, your gal pal.
I'm sorry, your friend, not your
friend. I get it. Oh my god, I want a scene of Rhea and Ava and being like, your friend, your girl, your friend, friend, girl.
Yeah, you're
the Rhea. Meanwhile, the Taras demons are like,
yeah, exactly. And then but real talk, Ava. So you spent 3 months living together, sleeping in the same bed, and nothing happened?
No. I mean, girl, I can see the future and the past. And
yeah.
But okay, tell yourself whatever helps you sleep.
Girl.
I've seen your dreams.
You didn't stay up and watch Beatrice sleep at all.
No, you never did that 5 times.
A day. So they both say at the same time that they should keep an eye on Ava, and it's really cute, and it's the only comedic relief besides Ava in this whole sequence.
Yes.
So I
There's so much
appreciated
tension in
that.
this scene, or in this episode,
Yeah.
period. The levity is nice.
It is. I enjoyed this scene just because we got to see once again the Ava as the warrior nun in charge. It's nice to see her come from season 1 to the point where she's giving the speeches on what their mission is about to break down and be. So
Yes. Okay. Let's see. This isn't the scene where Ava is in her room with the letter, is it?
No.
Did we cover that?
We've got some Michael and Jillian to go through before we get there.
I think my notes might be out of order for there. Okay, cool. All right. So let's hop over to the mother-son conversation. So, Michael at this point, like we mentioned earlier, is he's fully committed to the plan. I think on some level he's like, I'm never coming back. So let me savor life as well. So his version of that is soaking in the happy memories of his childhood, basically. So he's in his former room, the bubble, playing with his stuffed animals and just like, looking reflective. And then Jillian comes in. And this is their last heart to heart, which is real sad, very sweet. It's the only scene with them that I didn't find creepy.
Absolutely.
I thought
there were no weird vibes.
Yeah, I didn't get a weird vibe. This was like mother-son talk. Like this one didn't feel creepy to me. This felt genuine. So in the scene, he admits, so he's in the room surrounded by his former life, basically. And Michael admits, I don't really remember much of my life before I got to the other side. So I wonder, is that Rhea erasing his life to make him easier to manipulate? Or how does time work there? Your minds, your memories, who knows? But he's like, I don't remember. So I guess he's trying to remember. And again, to him, there's this reminder that to him, that was a lifetime ago being in this room. Where Jillian's like, that was literally 2 months my time. So their perceptions of each other are very, very different. Michael at this point isn't really tethered to his past, and then Jillian is stuck in the past because it's only been a few months for her. So she hasn't processed everything, but I think, and Michael's already at the point where he's forgetting. So it's kind of sad where they both are at. They're not on the same page there. So Michael's like, but I didn't forget everything. I have vivid memory. A vivid memory of when I was 6 years old and I wanted to go to the park, but because he had that health condition where everything would kill him because he was so immunocompromised, that his mom's like, oh, my poor son wants to go to a park. I'm going to make him a park. And so she built him a place he could play because he couldn't go outside in the real world, which is really, really sweet. And, it shows that Jillian did her best to make the best of things with Michael and did everything she could to make him happy. And I think at this point, she really wishes she could make him happy now, but I think on some level she understands that their situation has changed so much and it's beyond her control. And so all she can do is tell him I love you and I love being your mom. And we get it, Jillian. That's your entire storyline. We get it. Even though this is sweet, I understand that is literally your only plot, but okay, sure. Even though this is cute. But aside from mommy son talk, I'm used to mother daughter. What is going on? Okay. He tells her something interesting where he talks about the other side, and he says, on the other side, the nature of life is different from here. If I can stop Adriel, I may not come back, but a part of me will always exist. You made sure of that when you built the ark for me and I stepped through. And then we get the flashback of baby Michael running through the portal. But I think that's interesting. So I wonder if that line has something to do with I guess the metaphysics of what dying on one plane is like. If you're somebody who can exist in both, because I think in order to exist in our world and then the other world through the portal, I think you have to have organic material of both realms to exist, which is why Lilith was able to go over because she had Tarath demon claws in her body, etc. And then Ava's going to be able to go over because she has the halo, which is not of this realm, So I wonder if Michael dies in our world, does that mean he lives on in the other realm? Like, do we have mirror body image? I don't know, because I wonder if this is just playing with like the life after death myth in the Christian mythology kind of thing.
Yeah. It was very interesting.
It's interesting.
It'd be very nice to have that explored, but
oh, totally. But I wonder if that's what this is kind of hinting at, where like perhaps we weren't fully done with Michael like we think we are.
Yeah.
I just wonder.
Well, it makes sense since they're taking all of like the Christian religion and equating it to these beings came into our realm, and that's how we developed the Christianity, because of worshiping this otherworldly power. So that would totally track.
Yeah, exactly. And like they've been playing with the lore and explaining the reality of it, like the crown of thorns and like, so I wonder if that's what I think that's what that's really alluding to, because like Simon wrote this, and Simon's very deliberate with his language and like those kind of like hints of what's to come kind of thing, and I think that's what was happening here, which was foreshadowing, very interesting to explore. Okay, and then Michael finally gets Jillian finally, after this kind of like line that he gives, she finally gets what she's wanted the whole fucking season, which is Michael to say I love you. Like, it took you 8 episodes to tell your mother I love you. Like, how dare you? How dare you? But I'm glad she finally got that, because that's literally all she wants.
Yeah, like that's all she wanted for Christmas, Michael. What's wrong with you?
I know. He's so withholding,
Yeah, listen, just say it.
I know.
I have go ahead.
Just say it. I was gonna say, like, he always pissed me off where it took him so long to be like, I guess I'll say hi to my mom. And meanwhile, she's just like the whole time, like, where's my son?
This all she can think about, and you're over here like just chilling, drinking seltzer water at a freaking Swiss bar.
Dude, what the fuck? I know. Getting your Samaritan on,
playing with the Samaritans.
Anyhow, love it.
I know he hasn't had a life, but
I know, but still,
I'm glad you have a life is because of your mother.
I know.
Tell
her you love her.
Yeah,
call her.
Call her, for Christ's sake.
My mom.
Oh yeah.
Anyway,
actually, my mother just texted me, so I have one nitpick. I live with my mother.
I know.
I have one nitpick with this scene, and it's nothing important. There's nothing important about this, but it bothered me, and I think you'll understand why.
I can't wait.
So we get that flashback to them having a little mother-son cuddle session in the bubble when he was little.
Oh dear, yes.
And immunocompromised boy is in his mother's arms, and she's got gloves on, but she's smooching all over his face.
Yeah, okay. Again, that is not how that works.
Infection control, this is not.
No, like, she needs to be wearing full PPE.
Thank you.
Like a mask.
And not being like in his face.
Right. I'm like, is he only susceptible to organisms you can transmit via touch? Because like you breathe shit out and there's like viruses in your breath and stuff. Like,
thank you.
Yeah, that was ridiculous. Agreed.
Okay, I know it's
you're
TV,
gonna commit to the immunocompromised thing.
Like I said, I know it's TV, but as someone who has to think about infection control every day.
Okay, but like in a plot line where it's like, I built my son a bubble and a park. Like, commit.
And scientist, I am a scientist.
Yeah. Come on, Jillian, get your shit together. You're lucky he lived.
Yeah, you are lucky he lived and got through that portal. You probably would have killed him with your breath germs.
Exactly. Gave him the plague.
Bubonic up on this bitch. I mean, that's not whatever. You get my point. So, Dear Beatrice.
Dear Beatrice.
That's my new song. That's the first song on my album. Dear Beatrice.
Dear Beatrice.
So we get Ava is writing a letter to B, as one does when they're about to do something brave, stupid, and self-sacrificing. But the sad queer Emily Dickinson time is interrupted by Mother Superior, who is there to check on her because, as we saw in the scene earlier, both she and Beatrice are like, we should probably like check in with her and see what's going on. So Mother Superior's here to give Ava a really nifty toothpick, aka the cruciform sword.
Well, there it is. Okay, it took how many episodes to finally get the sword back?
Where did she have it?
I don't know. I remember watching this for the first time. We're just like, where the hell is the sword?
Yeah. Where did it go? Did they lose the prop or something?
Yeah. Anyway, nice that made an appearance at the finale finally. Yeah. Jesus.
And that's kind of why I called it a really nifty toothpick, because I'm like, I hardly recognize you, cruciform sword.
For real? Does she even need this thing? Like, come on.
Yeah. Man. Well, apparently it's maybe the only way she can kill Adriel, which we know is
anyway, with my toothpick.
Give me my toothpick. Gotta poke him in the eyeball. So anyway, she gives her back the cruciform sword, and because Mother Superior says, this may be the only way you can kill him once you get the crown on him. TM. So she asks if Ava is troubled, which is the real reason why she's here. I think she's been saving the cruciform sword for a moment where she needs to talk to Ava and have an excuse.
Yeah, that makes sense. Actually, that tracks. That's a Mother Superior motive. I buy that.
It's like, she doesn't need this shit. I'm just gonna keep it until I need an excuse to talk to her.
Yep.
So Ava says that she's overwhelmed, and I'm like, with the urge to write sappy things to your lady love.
Yeah, we'll come back to that, but yes. Yes. I have all these feelings, you see.
I have feelings, and I must get them out on the page, Mother Superior.
Why is Ava suddenly harsh? Mother Superior, no. I need to get this letter written.
I don't know. What do you mean you say with a Brooklyn accent? Mother Superior, and I had to write this letter.
I gotta get this letter written.
I gotta go. Well, I can do bossing. I gotta go get in my car and get this letter.
We'll figure out where Ava's from.
A little bit. So basically, Ava's like, I'm overwhelmed, and that's when I was like, with the urge to like make out with Beatrice, and then it's like, I mean, with gratitude, apparently. She's overwhelmed with gratitude.
Yes, that tracks.
And then she goes waxing poetic about the amazing wonder of being alive, and that is a sure sign that she's thinking about dying. So absolutely. Mother Superior is immediately suspicious, as she should be. And they have a discussion about having a discussion about how Mother Superior, being the former warrior nun and going through what she did, means that they can have a discussion about her understanding Ava's contemplation about life.
There's a lot of preamble to just be like, I get it, Ava.
Yes, it was. And that is exactly why I phrased it in that manner. It was a classic. We're having a discussion to have a discussion without the words that we're going to say out loud, when we could have just said, hey, I get it.
Right.
You're going to kill yourself for the cause.
Yeah.
I kind of did that, tried to do that one time, and
well done. Yeah. Been there, girl. Clearly it didn't work.
Yeah. So basically they have a little like, yeah, I get you. It's like the sorority or like frat bros are back together, and they're reminiscing about the time that they tried to save the world by killing themselves or something.
Sure.
Sacrificing themselves. So they're in the club now together.
Yes. We're in a club.
So yeah, Ava wants to protect everyone and do so by, basically giving her life, so she's making the world safe for everyone to live on in. Beatrice.
Yeah.
She's giving Beatrice a life.
Yes.
I mean, does she love her other friends? Yes, but I think her main motivation is Beatrice.
Agreed. Yeah.
So they embrace.
And they embrace. And I love this from Ava. Like, okay, I love her character growth up till this point, truly, because I find this situation really interesting for her, because she understands this concept of fully sacrificing yourself in such a unique way, because she already died. And, she said to Michael, like, she's like, hey, when you die, there's literally nothing. Like, that's it. You're just dead. So, like, she understands the finality of doing that. And now she's in this position where she's willingly choose to do it so that others, quote unquote, others, aka Beatrice, can keep living, like, can have the thing that she was denied and like is now choosing It's a magnificent character growth for Ava.
Mhm.
Like, I just love it, truly.
Well done.
Okay, so speaking of feelings, Bree, dear Beatrice, what the fuck was she writing? What was her
Okay.
Emily Dickinson poem? Can she write poetry? What was she gonna write on that letter?
Dear Beatrice.
Dear Beatrice.
So I think that she probably crossed some stuff out,
Totally.
wrote some more, crossed some stuff out,
Dirt and fire.
or like when she did get back to the letter. But basically, it said, "Hey, bitch, I love you.
Yeah.
Don't know if you realize that yet because you're apparently oblivious. So,
and I haven't told you that because I'm a dumbass.
I haven't told you because I'm dumb, and we could have been making out in fucking the Alps." But no, I'm an idiot and you're an idiot. So that didn't happen. We're both really queer idiots. And here we are. I'm about to sacrifice myself for you. And I will not get to have a life with you. This sucks balls. But in the end, I'm doing it for a worthy cause. And I hope that you can remember me as you live your life. Out of the shadows and the habit.
Okay, everybody. Praise Bree for that, who just freestyled that out of nowhere, because it does sound like something Ava. Ava's not a poet, let's be honest. That's something she would totally write, like just like those words, because it's just like mind vomit. Like, I love it. That's exactly what she would say. Okay, I would counter that. Like, I agree with all that. I love it. That's kind of my new headcanon. But I'm gonna link a video that I sent to you, Bree, of one of our Discord friends created an AI edit of like Ava's letter to Beatrice. Like, they wrote it and then like did like AI voice. So if you want some angst and heartbreak, I'm gonna link it. You could also Google Ava's letter to Beatrice on YouTube. Like, check that out. It will break your heart. It's
I
more
thought
of
it was beautiful, but slightly too eloquent for Ava.
Yeah, I agree. I'm like, Ava is not that eloquent. What you said reads more like her voice, but like the
if you
sentiment
combined mine and that one, I think you would have a good. I do think she would say something about how they were both dumb not to just.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. I think the regret would be in there for sure. Like, I'm sorry, I'm such a dumbass. But you're also oblivious. So like, as you're Beatrice reading this, you're like, this is sweet. Wait, what?
Yeah. Like,
why are you berating me?
Exactly. Like, she could never be totally sure that Beatrice would receive that with her affections or whatever.
Also, can Ava ever be 100% serious when she's like in an emotional state? Because her default is comedy. Like, so
yes, she would absolutely quippy through that parts of that letter.
Yeah. So I hope Beatrice gets that letter.
I may have to write my version.
No, do it. That was amazing.
A few edits from what I said. Gonna have to
AI voice generate exactly what Bree just said in Ava's voice. And then Beatrice reacting like, really, Ava? But then she's like, that's why I love this dumbass, I guess.
Yeah. I guess I love her. She's right. So
I chose this, I guess.
I mean, I am a masochist.
Yeah, for real. Like, opposites attract, for sure. Okay, so speaking of an Avatrice moment, so after all of that with Mother Superior, we head outside and the troops are getting ready for battle. So we're getting in the van, we're getting all our stuff together. And Beatrice is already like, I'm ready to go. She's like in the van, like, why is this taking everybody so long? And Ava, because let's be real, she's the person who's like a half hour to an hour early for everything. So like, she was ready at dawn and everybody else was like waking up. Let's be real. So Ava approaches and Beatrice is like super focused on the weapons, and Ava's like, well, got that look in your eyes. And Beatrice is like, what look is that? Like, she's already like pissed off and annoyed at this whole mission because she's like, this is gonna go awry. Ava's lying to me. Mother Superior told me some shit. I'm on edge, like this knife. And Ava's like, well, you look like you're about to Aikido someone into submission. And Beatrice is like, better not test me, bitch. So like
Yes.
there's some tension. There's some tension.
It's a
There's
lot
some
of
tension.
tension, and
A lot
I
of tension
I
in
you
there.
could tell from the way that Ava approached that she was being very tentative
Mhm.
and trying
Oh
to
yeah.
walk on eggshells with Beatrice because Beatrice is obviously in a mood.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
from her 3 months staring at Beatrice that entire
Yeah.
time,
Rhea saw it
uh,
all.
she knows that when this mood arises, it's best to be careful.
Yeah.
However, and on one, like, I get it because Beatrice is just like, she's fucking holding back and not telling me what's going on, and
Yep.
that's obviously gonna piss her off because haven't we, like, gone past this by now?
Right. Right. It's like we're moving backwards. Totally.
Yes.
Totally. Totally. And like so Ava's like, let me try and compliment you a little bit. And then it
Yes.
goes sideways.
Yes.
And it's like a blow to the gut with Ava. She's like, she gets in the van like a little wounded puppy. She's like, oh man, my girlfriend punched me.
Yeah, it's
Words.
like, not in the good way where she could have Aikito'd me into
Yeah, I
submission.
know.
No, no,
Like, I
no.
think it was like a flirty thing that she's like,
Yeah, it was.
"You
Come
boss me
on.
around?" 'Cause I'm into that.
Yeah, I mean,
You know.
we could take 10 minutes.
Yeah, like, you know,
Nope.
submission. I'm here for it. And Beatrice is just like, no, mission. It's like, oh
Mission. If
oh
you're not
man.
gonna tell me everything, it's mission or nothing else, and not mission position.
Yeah. So I think also Ava, because like going into this, Ava is of the mindset like I'm not coming back. Same thing as Michael, and so I think she's trying purposely to like be playful in their last moments together. You know, and you can kind of see it on Beatrice's face the way she's looking at Ava during this conversation. It's like this mixture of like concern, focus, and betrayal a little bit. Like you're saying, because I think Beatrice knows she has astute powers of observation and can like really tell something's going on with Ava, like Mother Superior and confirm, but like Beatrice is not gonna like directly confront her, especially like in the middle of like the troops all getting ready. You know, Ava's the leader. I don't think Beatrice would break command quite like that.
Beatrice is an extremely astute observer about everything outside of herself.
Yeah, for real. And I think part of this too is that like the secrets, like in the past, like she's able to get past Ava's secrets. And I think at this point, it's like kind of eroding Beatrice's self-confidence a little bit. So that's why she's radiating this like "don't fuck with me" energy.
Yep.
And I think maybe that's why she's like alone in the van with her thoughts while everyone else is getting ready. Like she wants some distance.
She's
From all
alone
of
with her
this.
gun.
Yeah, exactly. But
I would think that her that's just in my head what I was about to say sounded really weird, but I don't know another way to say it.
do it. No judgment.
Beatrice servicing her weapon.
Yeah, like it's like
a comfort thing for her.
Yeah, it's like the I don't know, like I was gonna say the monotony of just like
Going
doing
through
something
those
mindless
motions.
a little bit while your thoughts are going a million miles an hour. I agree. It's maybe it's a battle ritual for her too. That like it's a calming thing. But yeah, so after that, we hard cut to Mother Superior and the not hot priest having a conversation. She's like, listen, bitch, you better not be coming to me to absolve you of your sins because God has not given me the strength to deal with your bullshit today. And I'm like, finally. And he's like, no, I get it. I accept my penance with open arms. And Mother's like, yeah, okay. So show me with your actions, maybe that you repent by bringing every single one of these women home because they're worth like 10 of you.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, because this man is like all talk, no action. She's like, show me. Maybe show me that you're not a little piece of shit. And don't make me regret not shooting you in the head.
Exactly. I don't forgive
kind of regret
the not hot priest either, and he does not get my patience.
No, I am not a not hot priest apologist. I want him gone. I don't like him.
Father Vincent, take a train elsewhere. Although
so anyways, unfortunately, he then leaves this conversation and gets into the van next to Beatrice, or tries to, and and Beatrice is like, "Oh hell no, you're not coming with us. There's no way." Because I was trying to choke you out at the beginning of this episode. I still have not forgiven you at all. And I think it's part of that. And like I think Beatrice, the tactician at this point, is like, we're about to go on this really important mission. I don't need another fucking wild card because we saw how that went last time. And like, no, this mission needs to go well.
Exactly.
And Ava tries to plead with her, but Beatrice is like not budging because his actions thus far are like basically not getting him into her good graces. And Ava reasons with her by playing the duty card. She's like, listen, neither of us trust him, but he has security clearance to get into Adriel's church that no one else has. So we kind of need that. And like, you know, you're a nun. Isn't like forgiveness your job? That was cold, Ava. That was cold.
Don't pull out the nun card.
Right? Why are you pulling out the nun card? Like, girl, you ain't a nun either. So
we're not having none of it.
Yeah. Ugh. But unfortunately, like at the reminder of like what her actual job as an OCS tactical nun is, Beatrice acquiesces and is like, ugh, fine. Get in the van, but I'm not talking to you, which is good. And like, you know, as well as I do, that was going to be one awkward ass car ride.
Absolutely.
Like, it's just like one of those car rides. It's just awkward silence.
I can just see Ava sitting in between them going,
that cloud looks like a butt.
It's like, you know, just trying to find things to like, and Beatrice is looking out the window like,
such a child, Ava. Yeah, like that was just, she's just trying to get people to laugh and nobody's laughing. It's just like crickets.
For some reason in my head, it's like them being in an elevator together with bad elevators.
No, totally. That's what it is. So like however long that car ride actually was. Yeah. No, absolutely. And to kind of wrap up that scene, we get Michael and Jillian exchanging a doomed, I'll see you again. Like, you guys ain't, no, that's not gonna
happen.
That's not happening. And Mother Superior closes this out by giving the troops a rousing pep talk that starts with a talking heads quote in French and ends with a don't fuck it up.
I gotta love her. Gotta love her.
Gotta love her. Gotta love the strategic uses of swear words. Because like for the ratings, you only can use so many. So like they use those well.
They do. I appreciate their use.
Love it.
Absolutely. All right.
All right. But I think we need to hydrate for By Jesus because of the Halsey song that plays in this scene.
Something to say on that. Ooh. This is the perfect song choice.
Oh my God, for real.
For going into battle.
Yeah.
Because of the lyrics.
Yep.
Whoever chose this, 9,000 points.
Oh my God, yes. And I don't know how much it costs to get this Halsey song, but money well spent.
Yes, very much so. I'm not a woman, I'm a god.
Yeah. Also, this whole album is really good. If you've never listened to it, it's so
please do. If you want some queer music in your life.
Yes, do yourself a favor. Go listen to
it. So like I said, first A plus song choice. And we get all of these aerials of the city as they drive to Adriel's Eurotrash nightclub.
Yes.
And speaking of, we do get a shot of Adriel's followers milling around looking like the aftermath of a PTA meeting.
Oh my God, yes. Yes.
I mean, there's just all these like kind of like young 30s to 50s people in like kind of normal people clothes with like khakis and shit.
Yes, if this was America, they'd be there to ban books in the school their kids don't go to.
Exactly.
Yeah, that is
the school board meeting.
That tracks.
They're mingling afterwards.
Yeah.
There's cookies in the corner. So can you imagine what kind of cookies Adriel would serve?
I don't want to know.
Fig Newtons.
It's a healthy cookie.
Yeah. It's his favorite.
Sure it is.
He has them imported, especially.
Imported from the other realm. You know, that like delicacy is that he's like, Wraith Demon, go get me that. And they like bring him snacks.
No, these are not American Fig Newtons.
No.
These are otherworldly Fig Newtons.
Yes, I stole them from Rhea's kitchens.
Jesus Christmas.
That's a good laugh.
Yeah, oh, thank you. So yes, we get the image of all the followers milling around while Camilla and Yasmine are up above them, watching the multitude of people that have been crammed full of demon.
Yeah, that's a lot.
And so the nun truck rolls into Adriel's underground parking garage to find a handful of uniformed henchmen guarding the area. And when they challenge, when they are like, what are we gonna do about these dudes? The not hot priest is like, I got this. And so he gets out, and I don't know where he came up with this fucking plan.
Oh my god, I know, it makes me laugh.
But it's the most doodly thing that he's ever done.
Uh-huh.
So,
It
hey
is.
guys, listen, you gotta let us through because I've got all of these virgins for Adriel's pleasure.
Okay, but the guard that looks at Michael.
The guard that looks at Michael, and then Michael looks back at him.
And I was like,
and just kind of shrugs, like. And here's the thing, I have something to say about this because
please do.
Michael can be in virgin too. And Eurotrash Jesus strikes me as somebody who's pansexual.
Oh,
so.
for sure. And I don't think this was a remark of like Adriel's not into dudes. My take is that the guard that looked at Michael was like, well, how come he picked that dude and not me? That was my vibe.
Okay, that is fair.
I got jealousy.
Super fair.
It's like, I want to be Adriel's virgin. What the fuck?
And I'm like, bitch, you ain't a virgin. You sleeping with a dude beside you.
Yeah.
Obviously, because y'all in the Nazi gear.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But yeah.
Anyway.
Adriel is so 100% pansexual, let's be honest.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
So the head goon chooses to believe him just in case he would get in trouble with Adriel if he didn't let the virgins in. And motions to the other goons to go ahead and get the ladies and gent. But Not Hot Priest is like, no. You cannot molest the virgins.
Yeah, no, they need to be virgins by the time they get where they're going.
No touchy, the virgin.
Touchy.
These are Adriel's harem, and you may not touch them. So
yes. Hands off.
And I'm like, sure, Jan, because it'll break his holy covenant.
Yeah,
I don't want to know anything about Adriel's holy covenant.
No, I didn't need this conversation, quite frankly.
I could have skipped it. Thank you. And why did he come up with that? Where in his...
I assume like medieval times, like Adriel's the king, and he's like, I'm bringing the virgin sacrifices.
This will make sense to these henchmen.
Yeah, I get, like, I know, like the henchmen are from like, okay, the people that are the henchmen are from like our time, but like maybe the wraith demons that are taking over their brains understand this logic. Maybe,
you know what, that tracks.
Yeah, he's like, we gotta go old school with this diversion. Virgin sacrifices, that makes sense.
Exactly. So got some virgins coming in. It's a fun time, and they do a quick praise Adriel, which I equate to Hail Hitler.
Yes, me
Heil
too.
Hitler. And it's just the way they do it. It's such a parallel.
Yeah, it is.
And as they're walking off, I guess, to go find Adriel and be his virgins, the Chilean jams the frequencies of communication except for theirs. And Beatrice and Ava agree that was too easy. And I'm like,
yeah,
you think? So there's some people that look like goons coming towards them. Turns out to be Camilla and Yaz, and they have a quick reunite. Camilla is not too happy to see the not hot priest, and Ava explains that he's born again, and I appreciate that line.
Me too. I like that.
I had to leave it in there. So she gives them a rundown of the plan, but when Yaz is like, but what's the exit strategy? How are we gonna get out of here? Everybody's just quiet. And she's like, oh.
Okay, but like, I don't understand this from Ava's point of view. Like, if her big plan is to sacrifice herself so everybody gets to live, how does that work if there's no plan to leave this place in one piece? Is this just like a hope for the best situation?
In my opinion, I think she's like, all right, Michael and I are going to go destroy Adriel, and then everybody else will be free of their demons, and then they can just jet out of here.
Okay, that's fair.
But I have to keep it
realistic.
I got to keep it underneath my hat because then Beatrice will know what I'm doing and
that
stop
tracks.
me.
Thank you. That tracks.
So she gets the Suicide Squad memo, and is rather uncomfy. Ava gives her the option to wait outside But she's in for a penny and a pound of flesh because Camilla says she's one of them now. And I get the feeling that Yaz has never belonged. And now that she is being included and being told that she is one of the Order of the Cruciform Sword, that's like, these are the people she idolized her entire life.
Yes, like her whole family's deal was to like assist them, and like her family had to exist almost like as its own separate entity from everything else. So like she's part of the team, but she's on the periphery. So like, yeah, I think this was a huge moment for Yaz.
For Yaz, I think this is the thing that is worth risking her life for, is being a part of this group and doing this for the cause that they're doing it for.
And to fight with the warrior.
Exactly.
Like, that's a huge honor.
There's nothing else. So there's nothing else tops that in Yaz's book.
Correct.
And she is amazed and is like, that's it? That's how this works? Because Ava does the cutest thing ever.
Oh my God.
And pretty much knights her into the crew.
She's like, you're a sister warrior now. Here's a cross on your head.
Sister warrior, here's a cross on your body. And I'm surprised she didn't have her kneel and do the cruciform sword on her. Oh my
God,
shoulders.
No. Knights her? That would have been so. Oh my God. Beatrice would have just been like, for fuck's sake.
For fuck's sake, can we get this over with? I need to figure out what you're holding back, Ava.
Yeah.
So it's adorable and I love it. But Beatrice says that is not in any way how that works.
Yeah, it's like this bitch is making this shit up.
Yeah. And I have to say that even though I think what Ava does is adorable, I would totally be the Beatrice and be like, nah, bitch, that's not how that works. But sure. I accept in a more Beatrice way. Ava's like, yeah, but we don't have time for the whole like getting
whatever the actual
crap
is. Let's move on.
Let's go praise God and kick some ass. Woo! This should have been the Order's motto from the start.
Right? That's like their Storm and Fury.
Yeah, it should be on their like coat of arms or whatever.
Praise God. They could even do it in Latin if they wanted to be fancy.
Exactly. Perfect. It would be wonderful. However, here we are. So guards that actually think they're suspicious come in and holler and draw some weapons, and I'm like, y'all just now figuring out that the virgins are not so like virginal and are here to fuck your shit up.
Why do they have weapons?
Yeah, like this is
what does Adriela do?
On the level of dumbassery that
don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
They were super suspicious, just standing there knighting
knighting Yasmine. Not weird at all. Super virgin behavior.
What is that girl doing to her? Is that what virgins do?
Is this a virgin thing? She is super virgin. What's happening?
I don't understand. Is she getting re-virgined?
She's virgined again.
Yes. Born again virgined.
Yes, exactly.
So there's a lot of gunfire while Yaz tries to convince herself that sister warriors don't run. But, people with a sense of self-preservation do. So I get you, girl. And we see then we see like a random shot of Christian looking like he's had a thought for the first time in his life.
Oh my God. That's so good. Yeah. It's like, what's a virgin? It cuts away from him.
And then it's like he's hearing the fight go down or something, and then back to the fight. And Beatrice is like, we need to end this right now. And Ava's like, I got this. And then there's lots of badass fighting, including the part where Beatrice takes out a guy by telling Ava to phase and then throws a knife through where she was a second before to hit him right in the forehead.
That was so good.
It was the best.
Great idea, fight coordinators, and then CGI and everybody. That was good. Love it.
I love that shot. So at the end of the fight, Beatrice asks, because Michael has skittered off.
He's gone. He was like,
he is skittered off, and because Ava gave him a nod to go do his little duty. his spy Michael bomb boy things.
Yeah.
So he's gone, and Beatrice notices this and is like, Ava, darling.
Ava, darling.
Ava, darling, where's Michael gone? Because we know it wasn't to fetch the tea.
She's like, who's Michael? I don't
Yeah.
know her.
I don't who Michael? I don't know her. So yeah, she's like, Ava, hey, where the fuck's Michael? And Ava gives her a flimsy, like, well, he split off to go find the Ark. And of course, Beatrice is not buying what she's selling. And you could cut the Avatrice tension with that knife that Beatrice embedded in that guy's skull.
Yes, you can. That was the one she was like sharpening in the van.
Yeah, it was. So everybody splits up after that.
And we get our mission on.
Yeah. Then we get right on into the mission.
Okay, I have to point out two things during that scene that I love. The other thing I love when like the gang gets reunited is the way it's Camilla and the not hot priest, and the way she's so cold to him. She's like,
yes,
Vincent.
I love it, Vincent.
Vincent,
like he's a naughty schoolboy,
like he's dirt, and I love that. So you're go Camilla. Awful. She's on the same page as Beatrice when it comes to him, and I love it. The other thing I love is during the fight, there's a part where Beatrice and Yaz are like behind a column and they're watching Ava fight, and Yasmine's like fangirling over Ava. She's like, wow, she's incredible. And Beatrice is like, yeah, she is. And it cuts to Ava being badass. But like in the foreground is Dora being super fucking impressive. So with her arms out, and I'm just hydrate for Dora, because damn girl. I think you're too naive when it comes to trusting the not hot priest, but your fighting skills are impressive.
Yes, ma'am. I would like you to fight more.
Yes, fight more. More fight scenes with Dora. She's very fun to watch. But yeah, I love those two moments.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now we've entered Adriel's Hell Castle, and the not hot priest, Camilla, and Sister Dora take the lead here. They enter the church and are immediately greeted with dozens of brainwashed Adriel cultists on their knees, deep in prayer, channeling all that focused brain power to the creepy metal cross above them. That's where we're at. And they're like, great. Meanwhile, Ava, Beatrice, and Yaz, for some reason, are winding. I don't know why Yasmine is with them, but sure. And they're winding through the building looking for the Ark. And Michael already pieced out. He's doing suicide bomb things. And Ava is like, girls, I got this. I'm the warrior nun. And she leads them to a dead end. And Yasmine's like, but the Ark's not here. Isn't this where Jillian said it was B? She's the super scientist. I'm confused. But Beatrice, queen of observation, is like, yeah, no, Ava did this on purpose. She was lying. And let us know where, because Ava has an ulterior motive here. And then we get, as Beatrice is calling her out, we get this really cool shot of Ava staring at like the crack in the wall, and that like cross light, or the lit up cross, reflects in her eyes, which such a cool shot and so clever, and I just love it. And after that, we transition into the Avatrice love confession we've been patiently waiting for 2 seasons for. So basically, Ava reveals she's like, I'm on the suicide bomb plan. You caught me. And she's like, listen, the only people who are supposed to be in danger here are me and Michael. So I went through all this trouble because of you. I want you to live your life, and not everything is about me. And I understand what that means now. You told me that way back when, but now I understand in my heart of hearts what that means. And then the song Hymn to Her starts heartbreakingly playing in the background, which is such a stupidly perfect song. And
I'm not crying, you're crying.
I know. I can't listen to that song anymore because of this scene. Because this whole scene is so perfect. Because it's Ava and Beatrice's character arcs finally converging. Like up to this point, Ava has been on this journey to learn how to be selfless in a selfish world, while Beatrice is learning how to live her life and not exist behind her skills, or like hide herself, or not really live her life.
Mm-hmm.
So I think at this point when they're having this conversation, Ava is much further along than Beatrice in the character arc, but I think this moment of meeting in the middle is what pushes Beatrice over the apex into her full arc, if that makes sense. Because I think this is what gets her to like the end of the episode, or the end scene after the episode, I guess. So in this scene, Ava is like fully embodying the duty and aspect of the OCS the way Beatrice always does, stating that this is the warrior nun's job, like sacrificing myself so that others can live. That's my job, and your job is to protect me while I do it, right? And like logically, yes, she's correct. Like sacrifice is the burden of halo bearing. And Beatrice understands that. She's very logical, except when it comes to Ava. So Beatrice's response to that fact that Ava is stating is, no, Ava, don't. And that's because to Beatrice, Ava isn't just the warrior nun. Like, I don't think Beatrice ever saw Ava as just the warrior nun, perhaps the way she saw Shannon. I think that Ava was always something more to Beatrice. And that's what's kind of like making all of this really hard for her, when in the past it wasn't. And after Beatrice was like, no, don't, Ava kind of sits with that for a second and like really processes what Beatrice is saying. And then takes a step closer and explains why she's making the sacrifice. And she's like, I'm doing it for you so you can live your life. And for me, the key word is live. Like, there's a fundamental difference between existing and living. And Beatrice has spent a lifetime just existing, like going through the motions, being a part of something bigger than herself, like the OCS, taking on roles where she can hide, where she's valuable as a part of something because she has the skills that are seen as valuable to a team. But really, Beatrice has only truly lived for like those 2 months they spent in Switzerland. And Ava was there for that. She bore witness to Beatrice living, Beatrice being Beatrice on her own, moving freely in the world. Like no habit, no hair ties, like just Beatrice being the young woman figuring out who she is and what she wants, and experimenting with her identity, wants, and needs, which I think is something Beatrice has been suppressing since her parents were like, no, you can't be you. So, and Ava, is witnessing this aspect of Beatrice, like her living her life on her own terms, which is everything Ava was denied since the car accident. And it wasn't a choice. Like Beatrice truly chose to do all those things. She's like, I have to hide for self-preservation, whereas Ava was forced to do it by circumstances. One bad accident stripped her of her entire childhood, her adolescence, normalcy, and eventually her life when that sister at the orphanage was like, you're done. So Ava was really robbed of her life. And she understands more than anyone the value of what living your life really means. And so to me, it's more heartbreaking and truly fitting that Ava is the one making the bigger sacrifice than just fulfilling the job description of the warrior nun. Like Ava's willingly giving up her chance at living so that the person she loves can finally have her chance to live. Something Beatrice was denied as well because of her family and the society she was born into, that shame that's bred into her, the self-hatred, that fear, which is why I think she was able to live in Ava's presence, because Ava just, from the beginning, from the very first time they had that conversation where Beatrice came out, like Ava has supported her unconditionally in just being herself, and gave Beatrice that safe space to just be loved. And to me, that's something that's just rare and beautiful in general. And it's what makes the story of Avatrice so profoundly wonderful to me.
You said it all perfectly.
I have a lot of feelings about them and this scene in particular.
Many feels. Exactly. The feels. I'm like jealous of Yasmine getting to like,
I know, right?
Chill in the corner while this is going on, but it's the perfect climax to what has been going on with them.
Yes, it is.
Where you see Beatrice actually say the things. I mean, when she's telling Ava no, she's saying what she wants out loud for the first time.
Yes.
And that is, I think, another thing that gives Ava pause, because she's like, oh,
You're being honest.
You're being honest, and you actually like you're in this too, like for sure.
Damn, I wish I had wrote more in my letter about.
Yeah. Can I have a minute?
Yeah. Hold on. Wait. Read this later.
Wait. I gotta. Do you have a pen?
Yeah. Yes.
Yasmine, do you have a pen? No,
what is going on? Also, Yasmine is totally the character that always has a pen. She's the book nerd. She's like, of course I have a pen. You want a highlighter? Like,
she's got a notebook and under her disguise. She stole one from one of the guards.
Totally.
Yeah, I completely. I love everything you said because it's all true and again, perfect song choice.
Oh, perfect song choice.
But the acting was.
The acting. But we're not done. We're not done. We're halfway through the feels. Okay, so we didn't get to the kiss yet. So Ava then, tells Beatrice, like, look, the sacrifice is worth it so you can live your life. But Beatrice's response here is first a reflexive, I won't. Like, it's almost like stubborn the way she responds. She's like, I won't. I'm not going to do any of that. But then after a pause, she's like, I can't. And it's like that breathless, scared, I can't. I don't know how to do that kind of thing. And to me, that makes sense because Beatrice has never been able to live on her own. Like the only time she really ever lived was with Ava. And, living your truth like that is very scary. And so to her, she needed support to be able to actually do it. So there's that aspect of this, I think, that's holding Beatrice back. And the other component is that in order for her to actually do this, to like live her life and be free, it means she loses Ava forever. And so it's like star-crossed lovers, tragic thing where it's like just when they were at the point where they were about to begin, it ends. So yeah, I think so. The won't, she says, I won't is like that habit reflects for Beatrice, whereas the I can't is like the reality of all of this really sinking in. And it happens really fast for her. And so I think Beatrice tries to stop the horrifying reality by like lunging for the crown of thorns. And Ava smooth AF tangos out of Beatrice's like move into this like embrace hold. And she's like, yep, I got you now. And this is my last chance because I wrote the letter, but the letter's not enough. So she kisses Beatrice. And Simon describes this act right here as the only moment of selfishness Ava has in this scene. And thank bisexual Jesus. Like, you should have been more selfish this season, like, in my opinion. I think, yeah, like, girl, what the fuck?
You could have like had a whole ass like makeout session. I mean, I know Yasmine's there and it's awkward, but still,
yeah, whatever.
I don't think she minds.
She don't care. She would have left if she minded. Also, I think Yasmine's just like, what is happening?
Yeah, like what's going on, guys?
But anyway, like the kiss itself, the kiss then transitions really beautifully from like a shell-shocked Beatrice who's like, what the fuck is happening? Like eye-open, deer caught in headlights situation when Ava first kisses her. And then finally, Beatrice does the selfish thing and lets herself live in the moment. And then she kisses Ava back. And it gets really gay, really sad. And there's face touching and like forehead resting. And it's like a classic sapphic kiss, let's be real. And I'm just going to hydrate to all the Gizai. Well played.
I hydrate.
Well played, Alba and Christina.
The intense queerty of this scene.
Intense queerty. So good. And like, if you're going to have one kiss in a season, that's the one you get. Like, that's a great one. Not going to lie.
Yeah. That way, and there's a moment after Beatrice does just go in for the kiss where you see her pull Ava towards her, and you see Ava kind of has to rebalance, and I was like, oh, that's awesome.
Well, like, I don't think Ava was expecting.
No, I don't think Ava was expecting the reciprocation and the way that Beatrice reciprocated. It was just like, oh yeah, she
confirmation, validation. She likes me. So I think that reciprocation is what throws Ava off, actually. And so that when she phases out of there, she joins Michael, like, because like she strategically brought them to this dead end where she can meet Michael down below, like a floor below. And he immediately asks her, he's like, "Are you okay?" But it's like evident how conflicted Ava really is. Because like Ava, I think selfishly did not want to leave that moment. And she just looks so out of it when she phases down with Michael. And it really does take her a second to be like, head back in the game kind of thing. I think that threw her off a lot, Beatrice's reciprocation. Yeah, it's really sad. And poor Beatrice is like all left alone with her feels. And Yasmine, who's been standing there the entire time, and she's confused AF because she's like, I just watched nuns make out. What is happening? What is happening?
Like, what was she doing?
Wait, the warrior nun is queer? What?
I mean, cool.
Great, like
just
gay rights, but what?
Aren't we supposed to be fighting?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like, aren't we supposed to be stopping Adriel? We had to stop and have a 10-minute love confession. What is this?
And I'm like, Yasmine, welcome to the queers.
Welcome.
Welcome to the queers. That's what we do. Stop in the middle of a fight for a makeout.
Be gay. You gotta be gay whenever you can.
Be gay, do crime.
Exactly.
Beat Adriel's ass.
Yeah, let's go do some crime. But great scene. 100 out of 10. Love it.
I feel like I could write an entire paper on that scene, but
easily. It's a masterclass in many things.
Yes, because I don't want to keep us here until 90,000 o'clock. I guess we'll move on to Yaz actually asking what Ava was doing. Like, where is she going? I mean, she doesn't ask about the whole kissing thing. She's just like, so
she wants to.
Where's she? But more importantly, where is she going and what's going on?
And I'm like,
girl, get with the program. Did you not hear the super gay speech?
Yeah, I know.
So B explains that Ava's sacrificing herself and they agree that they can't let that happen. But B points out that they don't know where she is now and that this plan has gone upside down. And that gives Yasmine an epiphany.
Upside down.
Wait a moment. Adriel's first church was inverted. So that means they're focusing all of those PTA prayers downward, which means that the cross has to be below them or the ark has to be below them and the cross. So to down a level. Obviously, she went in the floor, guys.
I know. Did you not see where Ava went? Like,
yeah, like I get why Beatrice would be distracted.
Obviously, her world just flipped upside down. Also,
so anyway, they figure out what's going on in a way, and so we switch to Michael's head appearing over a huge opening in the floor, which I think was a nice shot.
Yeah, totally.
There's very good camera work in this season. And he and Ava have a meeting of the "we should have been dead 2 lives ago" club.
Yeah.
And reiterate that if they don't do this, nothing they love will be left as it is. So everything will die and perish and go away, and they'll have to watch it go to hell. So they jump down the hole, and the symbolism smacks me in the face on the way down. It's just like, this is a symbolic act of, all right, we're just going to down the rabbit hole into
the unknown.
Yep. So they jump, and when they get to the bottom, he compliments Ava and says, "You've been practicing." It felt out of place.
How does he know?
Yeah. Like, has he been watching her suck at phasing or something?
Right. So she phased in front of him.
Yeah. So
weird line, but yeah, Ava has been getting better with Halo control. That is true.
The only thing I can figure is that it was related to something that got cut out. I don't know.
Or like when he saw her and Beatrice like fly out of the church and they like crash landed. And so when he went with her, he's like, I guess I'm falling to my death with Ava because she sucks at landing. And she landed pretty smoothly. Maybe it's that.
Maybe, I guess. But
I guess. It still feels weird. I agree.
I'm like, is that an insult or compliment? I don't know what's going on here, but they both feel the energy of the worst club mix to ever hit the rave scene because they're like, oh, it's this way.
Hear that awful bass of this.
Yes, and I just see Adriel behind a whole platform with his spinning his
awful mix.
The Adriel remix.
God. The mix we don't need.
Waka waka. Adriel would have that in his mix for sure.
No, for sure. Like at least 3 of those.
Mm-hmm.
So after that, we go to the Knothead Priest, Camilla, and Dora. So they're back with the creepy Christians, and they're getting in position when they spot creepy Christian, who's overseeing the prayer group.
It's not the Bible pastor like youth group leader that I want.
Oh my god, this man is a creepy fuck. Okay, so the Knothead Priest is like, fuck. Well, he's here. I guess I'll take care of him. You guys do your thing. So they set their plan in motion. Meanwhile, Ava and Michael down under are recapping their plan because she's a useless bisexual and Beatrice's lips have fried her brain. So she's like, what are we doing here again? I forgot. And so he's like, girl, we're gonna suicide bomb this place. He's like, we're gonna do a bait and switch, make it look like we're using the crown to stop Adriel like everyone expects us to do. When I'm close enough to him, I'll give the signal. And you halo pulse me into oblivion. Boom! No more Adriel, no more us. World saved. And he was like, okay, cool. I just needed to hear that one more time because my brain's not working. And are you sure, Michael, that this is going to work? Because like word on the street is that Adriel cannot be killed in this realm. And Michael's like, yeah, heard them rumors. And like while we are on this realm, Divinium and the Halo are from the other realm, so theoretically, those 2 things can kill him here. And it was like, great. I'm so happy we are betting our lives on shitty semantics. And Michael's like, no, we're betting our lives on faith. And Ava's like, that's worse.
Disgusting, sir.
I am Ava in this world. Okay, and you want to know something? This whole like semantics thing. You know what this reminds me of? Remember in Buffy, there was that one like demon from like the ancient past, and there's like this legend about him. You know this, where he was like basically like, there's no weapon that's been forged that can kill this demon, and that's like in the book of one of Giles's books. And so they're operating off of like, wow, fuck, no weapon can kill this guy. And then Buffy is like, that bitch was born millions of years ago when there was swords. And so Buffy's like, faces the dude and he's like, no weapon forged can kill me. And she's like, yeah, it's like the 2000s, bitch. And she pulls out, she's like, see this grenade launcher that was forged way after you were born. So it's like operating off. It reminds me of that. She's like, yeah, meet this grenade launcher. See how that works out.
Or like the demon from Buffy that turned out to be like super tiny. And in the book, the translation was actual size.
Oh yeah. Yeah, exactly. So semantics can be funny or work to your advantage. So like that's the energy of this whole plot line for me. It's that Buffy plot line.
Absolutely.
Like, grenade launcher.
Yes. Oh my goodness. These 2. I don't know what to do with them.
I just love that Dave was like, what are we doing again?
Yeah, and I was like, so feeling a little woozy here, Michael. Could you explain the plan to me again? Because I would kind of just like to go back upstairs.
Yeah, exactly.
And find Bree. Can you imagine if she had done that and they just find a bathroom somewhere?
That would have been great. That would have been great.
All right. Well, that didn't happen.
In the next life.
However, in the next,
yeah.
in the next fan fiction.
Yes.
I'm gonna write that, damn it.
Do it.
Yeah, so we're gonna go to a little bit of Christian and the not hot priest and the church, with not hot priest stalling Christian and getting into a theological debate that no one wins.
Yeah,
because it's like you can't put two true believers together and expect there to be any other outcome. Because it's like, my God doesn't punish errors. Well, your God's about to be wiped from the planet, and he sounds like a toddler.
This is like my dad's better than your dad.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
We're members of the country club, and you can't even get onto the property. Fuck off.
Sit with us.
So goons take the not hot priest away, but he sees Camilla and Dora putting like fridge magnets on the cross.
Like, Dad, put my paper on here.
He's like those little poetry magnets, and they're making.
Oh my God, yeah. Adriel is a duty head.
Yes, exactly. That's what happens in my head. It's like they're like, oh, these are those rosary explosives. In my head, they're like putting fridge magnets up there.
Oh my God. So just like fridge magnets are so fun though.
I know, right? They are. I want a giant Adriel cross with that I could put fridge magnets on now.
That would actually be a good use of a giant Adriel magnet, you know?
Yeah, for serious. So he sees all this and he redirects some goons to them, and Camilla is like, so the plan's coming undone, and uses that opportunity to dress down and get ready for the fight. And I'm like, did you not think that he was going to see you out in the open
my God,
with your goddamn poetry magnets?
I know. Like, ladies, come now.
You're supposed to be a covert organization.
I know. It's why I'm like, I understand that Camilla's relatively new to like being on missions. That was the whole thing in season 1, right? They're like, Camilla's green and new, but like, come now, girl. Basic training should have taught you some stealth.
Girls.
And like Dora trained somewhere else, so I figured you'd be better at it. But
yes,
alas,
I was like, see them in my mind trying to do it from further away. You know, it's like trying to throw.
Yeah, they're like tossing it. Yeah,
them.
Exactly.
And
like go back to pretend praying.
You should have at least exchanged clothes with one of the idiots.
God, I know. It's for real. That's like 101 heisting. Yeah.
What was Vincent teaching you?
Nothing. He taught them nothing. Like, this is Vincent's fault. Let's be real. Not hot priest.
Yes, everything's not hot priest's fault. Yeah. Period. End of sentence. That's basically the end of that scene.
Yep. That's the main takeaway. Although one of the things I do love during the conversation when they're like, my dad's better than your dad. One of the not hot priests, his arguments that his God is real is that, well, he sent us bisexual Jesus. So obviously he's real because he's like Ava's existence. And I'm
Thank
like,
you.
I mean, yeah, by Jesus.
I can get on board with that argument.
He's not wrong. So there's that.
Not wrong.
That won the argument. Okay, so then we shoot on over to Ava and Michael, who find Adriel finally. And he's like dramatically standing all alone in a giant room with the ark and an aesthetic cross letting light into the room because drama. If we've learned anything over the past season, is that Adriel is a giant drama queen.
I was gonna say, he's
oh my God,
the worst.
He is the worst. Absolute worst. There's nobody to do this. Was unnecessary. He was just doing it because he's a drama queen. So Michael's like, enough of this bullshit. And he marches right in, trash talking Adriel. He's just ready. He's just like typical boy. He's like, no talk, just fists. And then Lilith is like the wild card everyone keeps fucking forgetting about. And she pops in and she's like, not today. And just like rips Michael's heart out of his body, which is just crazy. Like, oh my God. That's some dragon energy. If I ever saw one.
I was like,
girl, brutal. Brutal.
And then I'm like, okay, it is Lilith, so I could see it.
Right, exactly. And poor Mike. So Michael's like, ploop, he dead. And Eva screams in horror because like now her plan is very much coming undone because half the suicide team has been killed. Couldn't even do the suicide. And Adriel very casually is like, well, that's over. Thank God. And Lilith had popped out of existence. She's like, heart please, and then leaves. And so she reappears and slashes Ava to the ground and like takes her talons and like digs it, I assume, into Ava's like skull and like pulls her hair back and gets her like on her knees. So Ava's like trapped while Adriel's approaching. And this is when his grooming ass like lets it slip. Basically what he wants, which is just power. Like he just wants everybody to bend to him instead of Rhea, and he basically admits that here. And Lilith, who's brainwashed at this point, is just like, yep, I'm on board. I'm his henchman. Here we are.
And it makes sense why he and the not hot priest would have gotten along.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Because they like power. That's it. And full stop.
Well, I mean, Adriel's viewpoint and how he sees the world is exactly like Not Hot Priest.
Yeah.
Power, no power.
Yeah.
More power, less power. That's all they see.
It's just that hierarchy. That's it.
Yep.
Ends justify the means as long as the hierarchy is there.
Exactly.
So at this point, Ava's like knelt, and then Adriel like gets on her level. And he's like, yo, thank you, Ava, for that spectacular failure. Rhea's pet is now dead. Thank you, Lilith. And you brought the halo straight to me. I now have all the cards. Like, thank you for that. And Ava gives it her last shot by like reading him to filth a little bit. And she's like, listen, I've been on the other side now. I know the truth. I know you stole that halo from Rhea. And then she says, a power that dwarfs you. Interesting. A power you can never outrun. And I think that line is really significant, and it's indicating to us that the power of the halo is something that Adriel, again, like you said, he's all about seeking power, and that's a power source above him that he's trying to control, which like is his whole objective, right? But I think usually people who think in these terms of hierarchical powers also operate a lot on fear, because the halo, by definition, if it's more powerful than him, is something he'd be afraid of inherently until he can control it and master it, right? Yep. So this whole situation with him kind of reminds me a little bit of like the Icarus myth, because he's someone at this point who's flying too close to the proverbial sun with his fake wings on that quest for power. So to me, Adriel is just doomed to fall based on how this kind of like plays out. But Adriel's like, yeah, whatever, but I'm not going out without a fight. So he like flicks his wrist, turns on the arc, and like shit's about to go down, and we like rudely cut away.
Yeah, and now you comparing him to Icarus has me thinking about how his wings would look. They would totally have sequins.
Oh my god. No, he'd be like one of those birds. Like those like incandescent birds where like you look at them and the color's like black one way, but in the light it's like a light
color shifting.
Yes, he'd be color shifting. Peacock extraordinaire. Jesus Christ. I don't need to see that. Oh, that tracks.
Yep. So back to the church.
Always the church.
Always. Dora and Camilla getting overwhelmed by possessed peeps does not look pleasant. And you got Bee and Yaz finding some friends.
Quote unquote.
Yeah, Yaz is terrified, but Beatrice is like, I'll handle this.
Oh my god, I love her. She's like, I got this. Wait in the car, darling.
You can wait here, darling. I'll be back momentarily.
I got it.
Let me take care of this.
Hold my purse.
Hold my rod. So the possessed are back to prayer time and kumbayas by this point when we switch back over. Yeah. And Christian is taunting the nuns, is like, well, it's only worse for the ones below. And then motions for the goons to bring them along.
Yeah. Gross. I hate Christian.
Yes, me too.
I hate him. All right. So while like basically at this point, like all the plans are falling apart, like the Michael plan and the Ava plan, and then there's like the OCS plan. It's all the threads are coming undone.
I have to say that I felt a little bit of petty when Michael's heart got yanked out of his body, because I was like, you see, Ava, what happens when you try to sacrifice yourself?
Yeah. No. Maybe this is a sign this isn't the plan. This isn't the best plan.
A little bit of petty in me came out then.
But alas, Ava is now just like, how do I salvage this shit? And unfortunately, while she's trying to figure this out, Adriel is pontificating about how he's like, listen, I'm not the bad guy. He's like, I'm not the bad guy. We're on the same team. Like, totally. Can't you see it? I'm here to liberate humanity from the Christians, because Christianity really is just here protecting power and like all the sinners and all that stuff, which like he's not wrong, to be real. And he's like, you know, I'm doing good. And like meanwhile, like Lilith is like manhandling Ava. Like, I'm like, this whole thing doesn't read well, dude. And the like arc is pulsing. Ava's like, what? This is what? She's like, how is what you are doing any different from what you're saying you're fighting against? You guys are playing by the same playbook. So you're not that different. You're both doing the same shit. You're just seeking power. What the fuck? And anyway, he's like, it's fine. It's fine. But then what he says is like, to me, I think is like really key about this whole like big cosmic thing, because he's basically like, listen, we're what Ray is trying to do, what he's like, basically there's like cosmic forces beyond your wildest imaginations, and like Earth is just some playing ground that all these big bads are using because they see you as beneath them. I'm trying to liberate you. They don't give a fuck what happens to you. You're like the staging ground for like the bigger war that's about to happen, essentially. Which like I think partially part of things what he's saying is actually true, because of the way they're storytelling here, the way Simon's kind of like sprinkling, you know, not sprinkling, but he's rather like, you're getting like, you start with like a very myopic view of what's happening, so like a very very like zoomed in times like 1,000 view of like the situation, and then each episode, each season, he brings back the focus so you can see the bigger picture of everything. And so I do agree. I think that like the stuff that's going on Earth is like a small part of like the bigger picture, like cosmically. And I think Rhea is like one of the bigger players in the cosmic stuff, and this guy is like a weasel, basically.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But the deal is that like Ava now is like, okay, so now here's his quote unquote truth. Rhea's giving me her quote unquote truth. And so I think ultimately Ava's having doubts about this whole thing because she's stuck in the middle. She's like, I have this power source that like everybody wants. So now I monkey in the middle by default. And Ava's MO at this point is like, I'm just here to save my friends and you know, humanity also, whatever. So I need to figure that shit out. Yeah. And I think Ava's like in the ultimate dilemma here of like, what if I'm on the wrong side? What if my sacrifice with Michael is ultimately for nothing? So I think she's just like, fuck, like with this new information, you know?
Absolutely.
Yeah. For Ava.
Ava is in an untenable position pretty much because she has no idea what the fuck they're dealing with. No one has any idea what they're dealing with except for the people from the other realm, and they are always speaking in these cryptic. Yes, so it's and trying to control everyone.
Yeah. No, it's very much a political game. Like she's trapped in a political game she didn't ask to be in the middle of, and trying to navigate it as like a 19-year-old, 20-year-old or whatever, which is like so fucking hard.
It just wants to run away with her girlfriend.
And be gay. And like that's fine. We get that. But it's hard for Ava too, because they're, you know, Rhea and Adriel are both unreliable narrators to her because they have their own motives. And so they're giving her information like and painting it the way they want to. So really Ava doesn't know the full truth, and we never really will at this point. But what an impossible situation to be in as the bearer of this like power source everybody's trying to get. Like poor Ava.
As much as Adriel is telling the story through his own lens, he's also telling some truths in that the Earth is just a pawn in the middle of this fucking giant ass war.
Yeah, totally.
And there's no way for them to have, like, the only thing they have is the halo in there to their advantage.
Totally. And
so
yeah. And also, like, when he's saying, like, you know, we're on the same side, like, I'm trying to liberate the earth by subjugating the earth. Basically, he's presenting himself as I'm the lesser of two evils.
yes, he is.
Yeah, so he's like basically like Ava, you have no choice. So, like freedom is done. Choose me and I keep her away, or like choose her and either way you're going to be subjugated. Like, who do you want to be your master? Is basically the choice he's giving her here with like no information. It sucks.
I was just like, man, I just want to go back to the Alps.
Yeah, no, I also want to go back to the Alps.
Yeah,
Can we leave?
do that? I think we should have, have another vacay to the Alps and explore that whole kissing thing that was happening earlier.
Yeah. Now, there's something there. Maybe we can save the world. Who knows?
But since save the world through lady kisses.
Agreed. Best possible way.
Or kisses at all. Queer kisses, save the world.
Yes.
So we don't get that, but we do get a Beatrice fight scene because that is our consolation prize, and I guess we'll take it. I mean,
we'll take it. Oh my god, what a fight scene.
Yes, amazing. The fight scenes this season were out of this world. Yes. So Beatrice, we get a shot of her walking towards this fight like she's a badass motherfucker on a nighttime stroll. So she's just like walking up to these dudes who aren't paying any damn attention. And when they do turn around, we see Cardinal Fuckface is what I'm calling him. He's back, one-eyed Admiral Cardinal Fuckface. He just reminds me of a failed pirate at this point.
Oh my god, seriously.
He thinks he's so much more important than he is.
Yes, ego out the wall.
So Beatrice tells him that they're standing between her and her wife for life and offers mercy to whoever walks away now. And then we get the most appropriate music for Beatrice's last fight scene of the season, Ave Maria.
So good. What a good choice. Love it.
So Ave Maria playing while she's like, I'm offering you mercy, bitch. And you're gonna get your ass kicked.
Yep. It's on you now. You chose this.
And B says, like, I warned you. And then gets her super, super cool stabby staff out and opens it like the collapsible cup I had for softball games, which I am a big fan of. I love cool gadgets like that.
So and too, for
like, super
smart.
You could use it for different things, I imagine, but shit's about to go down when Beatrice puts her chainmail veil on.
Oh my god, it's over. Once that goes on her face, it's over. Run away.
Yep. So B kicks the ass of about 15 dudes, including and Cardinal Rear Admiral Eye Patch Fuckface sneaks up on Yaz in the meantime. And does like the creepiest thing possible that he could have done.
Oh my god. Not necessary.
He's that guy that your parents are always like, if he gets near you.
Yes. This is the don't take candy from strangers. Yeah. This is where that rumor started. This creepy ass.
We don't trick or treat at his house.
No. God, no. What a creepy fuck.
Thank you. So he sneaks up behind Yaz and he's like, I'm glad I don't have to fight her, but I can take you as a hostage. And I'm like, can you also shut the fuck up and get out of here?
Because if we're gonna kill her, just do it. We don't need these words.
Yeah. She's like, nah, I'm a sister warrior.
I love it.
Yes.
I love it.
So they have a nice little fight, and he thinks that he's won, and he's taunting her about killing Mother Superior because he doesn't know that she's back. And she's like, no, Mother Superior is alive and still with me.
Yeah.
And all the while she's pulling out her nifty secret crucifix knife, which I want one of those. Thank you.
Well, also Mother Superior gave her that.
Yes.
So I was also wondering if like Mother Superior is with me is the weapon.
Exactly. That is what it is.
Yeah.
Wonderful. So she takes that out and stabs him. And he's like, well, 'tis but a flesh wound.
Yes, well referenced.
Thank you. But she informs him in her true nerd fashion that she severed his femoral artery that pumps blood at quite an impressive rate. And as soon as she stabbed him, I was like, oh, bitch is smart. Like the first time I watched this scene, I was like, that's smart.
Okay. Yes. First time I watched this, I was like, I've seen this before. So she kills him a la Villanelle here, because Villanelle does that in Killing Eve. Like it's the smart way to kill someone, because like if you only need a tiny puncture, like all their blood's gonna come out. So like I was like, oh, femoral artery. What a nerd.
I love it.
She's got it.
She even like tells him, like she even gives him like a
scientific
physiology lesson, like anatomy and physiology lesson at the time that she's doing this. And so he like, this is the most Rear Admiral fuckface thing to say ever, because the way he calls her an unholy bitch.
Oh my god.
The voice. That actor is so good at being as creepy as possible.
Oh yeah. He wins the creepy award for sure.
It's I don't know. I did not know how to feel after that. But so B gets done with all the assholes and closes her super cool fun staff and goes to check on Yaz. And Yaz is like, okay, gathering herself, and she's like, okay, let's go. But B is like, you've done enough.
You're good, girl.
You've done enough. You can keep safe, and I have to do this alone. I have to go get my wife.
Yeah.
And that means you can stay here. So the shot of Beatrice getting on the elevator gave me some feelings.
Hydrate.
Yes, hydrate for Beatrice getting on the elevator, because Jesus Christ.
Oh my god. Yes. What a moment.
Oh. Thank you, Christina.
Yes. Everything about this scene is marvelous. My favorite thing about it, though, is just Yasmine coming into her own as a sister warrior. I love that.
Like, I even love Yasmine's like last line where she's like, I'll just sit here and bleed
for a little. What? Just bleed.
10 out of 10 Mina.
Yes, I love Yasmine. Well played. Okay, so unfortunately, we're gonna leave that kick-ass scene and go to the dungeon, where Adriel is still on his bullshit about why he needs power, like blah blah blah, whatever. Okay, but what is important is that in the portal, a bunch of wraith demons show up in a cloud of red, and because they're his goons, so they went and got somebody, and they're now dragging the somebody through that portal, and that somebody is Rhea. So Adriel's master plan at this point is now revealed. His goal was to go get Rhea, get the Crown of Thorns, imprison that bitch, and then take her place as head honcho, aka what we call God, is my assumption. So he's like, great, I've got everything because I have the perfect fool that is now the Halo bearer. I have all the cards to make this finally happen. And Avatrice tries to plea to Lilith, playing like the sister card. She's like, Sister Lilith, who I ignored for a whole season. Please help me. And Lilith's like, absolutely not. This is happening.
It was more like, Sister, what was your name again?
Right. Lily?
Laura?
Laura? Help me. I should have paid more attention to Lilith. That's like, this is what happens when you ignore friends and they hold a grudge. Cautionary tale.
They make out with really, really old dudes.
Oh my god! Listen, you failed Lilith in so many ways. That was such a big way. Oh my god, no. Gross. Anyway, that's that scene.
Anyway, so upstairs, Camilla and Dora are feeling the tremors of what's going on below, aka pulling Rhea through that portal, which I imagine has to take a lot of energy and is doing all the things. And Camilla's like, all right, we need to help Ava. So guess what? The cross. Remember the cross? 'Tis an amplifier, an energy transmitter. And guess what? Camilla has I'm so sorry, Camilla. Has a direct line into Adriel's brain. I would not want to know what's going on in there.
No.
So Dora says, "We'll buy you some time." And then there's just like, "Now!" And then all of the nuns that have been hiding in their disguises amongst the peoples start to undisguise themselves and fight. And Camilla takes out one dude in a badass manner on the way to the cross and then puts her hands and forehead on it.
Red light, green light, 1, 2, 3. Need it. Also, that PTA meeting is over.
Yeah, guys. Somebody ate all the cookies, so
There's
over.
No more finger.
No more. It's what started the fight.
All right. So that kerfuffle is happening upstairs. Meanwhile, downstairs, Rhea is now through this portal. Adriel's projecting all of his hurt feelings onto her. He's like, "You made me sad for hundreds of years, and I was imprisoned because of you," and blah, 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 whatever. So then he's now got the crown of thorns. He's like heading over, and he's like, "I'm going to use the power to free every living creature from your tyranny." I don't know why that's his accent, but it is.
Oh, no, it's totally him. It gives me super dramatic, thinks he's a good actor, but isn't really on the stage vibes.
I know, for real. And like, while I'm super team Rhea, I agree to a degree that he's saying truthful things here, but I really hate him, so whatever. Anyway, so Adriel goes to put the crown on Rhea's head, and Camilla, meanwhile, is hugging the cross, and she telepathically is screaming, "Adriel!"
And all I can think of is Adriel!
Yeah, Rocky.
I'm like, well, that happens.
That happens.
So, because of her psychic connection and screaming inside of his head, Adriel ends up on the ground, like incapacitated, pretty much having the biggest migraine of Camilla ever. And he drops the crown. So there's that. And then Lilith removes her literal talons from Ava's shoulder, which
oh my God,
made me hurt. And then goes to help him while Rhea crawls towards the ark. And then we go back to Camilla hugging the cross and the fight that's going on around her. And I feel like the possessed are starting to kind of wake up a little bit and be like, "What the fuck is going on?" And then Adriel stands up as the ark portal closes, and Ava like grunt screams and draws her sword.
Oh yeah.
And Lilith goes to fight her, but Adriel's like, no, I've been waiting for this. Okay. I haven't.
No. He does say, though, he's like, he calls her, I think, warrior nun when he does this. And I think for him, he's like, "I've been waiting for this warrior nun." I think for him,
yes, he's fighting the Orig.
Yeah, exactly. This is catharsis against being betrayed by like Ariana. I think that's what partially this is. It's nothing to do with Ava, to be honest.
It's not Ava. It's about getting revenge for the betrayal in the beginning. So.
Exactly. Yeah.
So they fight, and Ava phases through him, stabs the shit out of him, and then
good move. Good move. Great job. Excellent. Love that.
And unfortunately, Lilith, I'm starting to get tired of this, Lilith. I understand that you're grumpy about this, and I think you're very justified. However, can we not hold up the progress of the mission? And she starts to beat Ava back because now Ava is fighting someone who can also phase, and she doesn't quite have the timing of that down. And who would? Because we see how effective it is when she uses that tactic. So Lilith phases on out of there for a second, and then Ava gets her Zen on and like clears her mind to anticipate Lilith's next move.
Use the force, Ava.
Use the force. And right as Lilith phases back into about to cut the shit out of Ava, Ava slices and dices her and then continues to fight with Adriel, who starts using his superpowers at that point because he can.
Okay, yeah. I thought this was interesting because it almost looks to me like he's harnessing wind to like push her. So it made me wonder, like, maybe if these powers they have in the other realm are like elemental powers.
Yeah, it totally sent me there too.
Yeah, because I mean it's comedy and fantasy, number one, but also like in like the religion mythology, a lot of like powers stem from elements. So I'm wondering if that's like what they're kind of trying to depict here.
Yeah, totally make a lot of sense
Yeah.
for him to be sort of like a minor wind harnessing being of
Yeah,
whatever.
totally. Yeah.
So, yeah. And Lilith is healing in the meantime because she's got all that demony otherworld energy in her.
Yeah.
And Adriel manages to knock. See, this is where you're gonna be like, because I'm like, Adriel manages to knock the wind out of Ava.
He does.
And now he's just kind of playing with her, and he's like, time to end this and take back what's mine. Shut the fuck up.
I know. Stop grandstanding. This episode will be shorter.
Why? It's like that villain that tells them the entire plan while just pontificating and walking back, whatever.
Yeah, the hubris of the ego.
Mm.
But
hey, who shows up behind her?
Her wife. Wifey came to save me.
Yep.
So Beatrice shows up just in time to watch Ava's like last ditch effort to end this once and for all, because she's like, this isn't great. I got my sword. Lilith is somewhere. There's Adriel coming at me. Oh, Michael's dead body. The Divinium's still there, even though he's dead. So I wonder if I can just like do the suicide plan anyway. So she does. She Halo blasts Michael's body, which activates the Divinium and detonates the quote-unquote bomb, which is Michael. And like then we get this pretty interesting shot where just like the Divinium all lights up super, super bright blue, and it just like goes everywhere. You see it clearly go into Adriel, and then like it goes ricochets back into Ava, and you like see it kind of like go into her legs, her chest. And ultimately that blast takes both of them down. Lilith, interestingly, was spared because she phased the fuck out of there and was like, fuck this shit, I'm out, and she leaves. And Beatrice was far enough away from the blast zone that she was good. So it's just Ava and Adriel that are affected. Adriel seemingly is down for the count. Ava is on the ground, starts coughing, so she's like still in our plane at this time. Beatrice hightails it over to her and like props Ava up in her arms, and she's like, you did it, it's over. Even though you shouldn't have, bitch, what the fuck? Like internally, Beatrice is pissed, but she's like, okay, it's okay. But Ava knows that it's not that simple because she has glowing divinium protruding from her abdomen, and she's actively coughing up blood at this moment. So she's like, just let me rest. Let me rest for a minute, because I don't feel so great. So Beatrice is like, okay, take your time. And Ava like does this cute little like nuzzle into Beatrice's shoulder. And Beatrice is in this little protective stance, and it's so cute. And for me, this is like POV Beatrice being like, I'm never letting you out of my sight ever again. I'm going to protect you forever and ever. And for me, Ava's like, well, I never thought I'd see you again, let alone touch you. So let me like savor this little nuzzle.
I have a cuddle while I'm here.
Let's cuddle before it all goes to black.
Yeah, just a little cuddle.
Yeah, just a last little cuddle. So we get that last little moment of cuteness before all fuck lets loose, when because of course it wasn't that easy. Adriel starts laughing, his like classic evil villain laugh, and they're like, oh fuck. And he, how do you
laugh without a face? That's my question.
Yo, I don't know. What was that? Yeah, because like his face is like melting off, and he's like pulling a shrapnel shard out of his eye socket. I don't understand it. Yeah, his face is like straight up melt healing or whatever, because it's like fiery healing. But yeah, I don't know how he's making sounds. It's really weird. And what I find really funny is that like Lilith sees this part, and that's when she's like, no. And that's when she abandons Adriel, is this particular scene. The creepy laugh, the melting face. She's like, this is too much.
Yeah,
this is too much for me.
You've gone from one level to another level, and I'm not here for it. So she like tippy tap toes taps out of there.
Yeah, but like this was the tipping part for Lilith, not the other shit, not the world domination. I know, it's really weird. She's like, this is it. Bye.
I don't follow your reasoning, but I'm glad you're kind of back.
Right, me too. I'm like, sure. Okay. But appropriate reaction, just like Ava's rightful screaming no, while Beatrice is like pulling her to her feet, and she's like, we need to get out of here. Your minute is over, Ava. We gotta go. So Adriel starts like limping closer, and like his body is like slowly being put back together, like his ankles being set into place, and he's getting better and better. He's like, haha, I told you I cannot be killed in this realm.
Okay, fancy pants.
Yeah, whatever, bitch.
That's the appropriate reaction right there.
Yeah.
Okay. So the nuns are winning the fight upstairs, and Camilla activates the fridge magnets, screaming at everyone to run. So all of those little fridge magnets, the poetry words, the Adriel's a duty head, serves to explode the cross. And we get Ava and Beatrice hearing / feeling this explosion. And it's like a game of tennis to see who can make more racket downstairs or upstairs. It's like the neighbors
party.
Yes. Like, oons, oons, oons. It's like, what are they doing? Throwing a bowling ball at the floor?
You're not the volume.
And somebody's got a broom.
That's Beatrice. I'm trying to sleep.
I'm trying to sleep, bitch. I have to get up and pray at 3 a.m.
No, for real.
So, with the cross gone, the halo puts a little pep in Ava's step, and she tells Adriel that she may not be able to kill him in this realm, but she knows something that can. Guess what? He has to be dramatic and ask what it is. And she says, semantics.
Wordplay.
Bitch.
English.
Sorry, that should have been at the end.
I agree.
Because it's Ava, she has to say semantics. So she lights up our lives and the room with the halo and calls for some backup the old-fashioned way, which is using the halo, which brings down the Tarask bounty hunters. And they literally pull Adriel apart.
Yes, because they are not of this realm.
No, and boop, Adriel goes bye-bye.
Thank God.
Like a peep in a microwave.
Thank God. My question, though, is like, why didn't her halo blast that blew up the Divinium bomb call the Tarask?
Thank you!
Because, like, doesn't that take a fuckload of energy? Wouldn't they have been like, there it is? Also, like, wouldn't it also be easier for them to like sense where the halo is because we have the portal open? So that's like thinning the divide. So I would think they'd be able to sense it easier with the portal being open.
My only explanation for this is that when Ava goes to intentionally call the Tarask demons down, has a sustained use of the halo rather than just a poof.
Boom. Yeah.
So that's the only thing I can figure.
Yeah, I think so too. But anyway, Adriel's gone. Yay!
Bye, Adriel.
Bye, bitch. That was
sad to see you go.
That was a 1,000-year saga. It didn't end too soon.
Jesus Christ, you should have died a long time ago.
Oh my God. Justice for Ariella. All right. So as Adriel is being killed, Christian takes a deep breath, almost like the mind control of his cult was broken. And then he looks at the not hot priest like, who are you? Where are we? Who am I? I don't think he knows what's going on. I think like he's having thoughts for the first time, like Bree said, which is a lot for Christian. And so let's move on. Who cares? Back to the women. So now Adriel is gone, and they're at this point surrounded by the Tarask demons. And Ava and Beatrice are like the next logical targets because they're like, ooh, halo. And Ava, who cannot stand her on her own at this point, is trying to like shrug Beatrice off. She's like, you leave. They want the halo. I told you not to follow me here. And Beatrice doesn't say anything, but she looks at Ava like, there's no way in hell I wasn't going to follow you here. And I'm not leaving you alone. Absolutely not. So as the demons are kind of like snarling and getting ready to like take their next victim, just like the dream, Rhea cuts through. Stop!
Stop!
Stop! It's almost like that was the future. Anyway.
We're all living in a wheel of time.
I'm literally, okay, as somebody who's been watching the Wheel of Time, like, this is Wheel of Time shit to me. I'm like, was that the future or not? Like, finally,
the universe is folded on itself and itself again.
Dude, this is so Wheel of Time. It's not even funny. Which, like, okay, if you're sad about Warrior not ending, go watch Wheel of Time. You will not be disappointed. Anyway, so this is real-time Ava's vision from the Crown of Thorns playing out, and the line of trust team is just like the vision, start going boop, 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 boop. They go away. And then some weird stuff happens where, like, no words are really exchanged other than stop. But, like, Rhea looks at Ava and they stare at each other. And Rhea nods and Ava nods. And, like, Rhea goes back in the portal. And it's like, Ava's nodding. She's like, I get it. And then Beatrice asks, what the fuck was that? And Ava's like, I don't know anything. And like, collapses. So I'm like, what was that exchange? I'm so confused.
Was that like her saying, yeah, I'm sparing you from, I'll let you keep the halo?
Or is it like,
bye-bye.
I don't know. Or like, is Ava like, to me, like, logically, I would think that's like, remember what we talked about last time? And Ava's like, yes,
that's logically what I would think too.
Yeah, I think they struck some kind of deal. But then, like, I don't know if Ava's dying and like has no oxygen. She's like, I don't know what's going on. And just like literally collapses.
Or she literally can't tell Beatrice because of reasons.
Yeah. Or like, did they make some kind of like deal in the dream? And Rhea's like, now you owe me a favor. I spared your girl.
Could be.
More questions that we'll maybe never get answers to, that I want answers to.
Questions upon questions.
So many questions. But I just love that. But Ava's like, I understand. Yes. And Beatrice is like, do you? And she's like, I don't know anything.
IDK. I'm going to collapse now. So I get out of this conversation.
Yeah. I just love that. To me, it's funny, but
it's
also, yeah. I think they struck a deal or some shit.
So the not hot priest walks up to the spot where sunlight is shining through the giant hole in the evil church because symbolism.
Yes.
The light has come again.
A new day.
Everyone's starting anew. So he takes off his collar, also symbolic, and is relieved. The fight is over and the nuns are hugging. But that's cool and all. Back to the queers.
Yep.
B wants to get Ava the fuck out of there, but Ava's like, not gonna make it. Let me just have another cuddle. V's not about that life and is like, you're gonna heal, bitch. And Ava's like breaking the bad news. That's not gonna happen. This is too much to come back from the divinium in my body. And she tells Beatrice to take the halo, but Beatrice is like, no, it's not your time. What do you think? You may be my sexual Jesus, but I am your wife, and you do what I say.
Yeah.
And she tries to convince Ava to survive. And Ava's response to this is, why are you always saving me?
Oh my God. Okay, I love this moment too, when Beatrice is like holding her and she's just like smiling at Beatrice as she's dying, which is just like peak golden retriever girlfriend behavior. She's like, why are you so nice to me?
Why you like me?
Why you
really
like me, don't you? As she's bleeding out.
Yes, I'm dying, but you're so cute.
You look cute. And then Beatrice has this like single tear that comes out of when she's holding Ava. And like, okay, hydrate for Christina, because like, girl, the control for the single tear. Well played, ma'am. Well played.
It's not the only time that happens.
I know, but it's just the control to do that.
Perfect.
I know.
Anyway,
I don't know. It's a kiss. You gotta hang on to the cute moments because it starts to get
this
sad.
scene is so gay it hurts.
I know.
Bee's tear falls and Lilith approaches with a solution because now she's going to be helpful, I guess.
The 180, the pivot.
Yes, the pivot.
She's like, I know a way.
There's one way to heal her, but you need to hurry. So she turns towards the portal and Bee's like, nope, nope, nope. Find another way. And Ava's like, she's right. It's the only way.
Yeah, I know she's the worst, but yeah, she's speaking the truth.
She's not lying. So they get her up to the portal, and then Lilith kind of slinks off to let them be gay together.
Yeah,
and so they're sitting there on the edge, and Ava's just like struggling to be alive. It's like, let me go. And B's like, can't, gay caress. And
you're stuck for life, girl. I'm not letting you go anywhere.
Yeah, exactly. But then V's like, be free. And that chokes Ava up even more. So she gay caresses the gay caressing hand that's caressing her. And Ava says the words, I love you.
And Beatrice hears them.
And Beatrice hears them. And there's a collective awe and one very loud, finally, from the peanut gallery in my brain. Beatrice smiles, and as we all wait for her to say it back, she releases Ava into the portal instead.
And then what does she do, Bree?
Wait, because then it's like my brain is like, insert a meme from The Office of Michael yelling, no!
Seriously.
No! Because I can't function, and meme is me. So Beatrice waits till Ava's gone and says, I love you. Girl, what the fuck?
What the fuck? You're supposed to be the logical character. What the actual fuck?
I know you don't do feelings, but the fuck? She just sacrificed herself for you and everybody else.
Why are you saying this to Lilith, who's in the room?
Yeah, we don't fuck. Lilith doesn't care.
She don't care.
Lilith could give a shit about your love. All right?
She's like, this fucking dumbass.
Jesus, these two finally. This is the dumbest time to do this, you two.
Oh my god.
You're so gay.
She is a useless lesbian. Like, she is the textbook.
So
this was textbook useless lesbian behavior.
It really
was. It's maybe the last time I'm ever going to see you. Let me wait until you're in the portal to reciprocate.
Yeah. Hey, I love you.
You might as well not said it at all.
I'm sending that through the portal.
Yeah, I'm sending vibes through the portal.
Sending vibes through the portal. Love you.
Love you.
Love you, bye.
Beatrice.
Beatrice, get your shit together.
Okay, so somebody needs to arrest Netflix for this choice because Ava finally figured out what it means to love and to love someone back. So like, call back to like her JC days with Mary, and Mary is like, she's like, I think I love him. And Mary's like, bitch, you don't know what that word means. This is all hormones. And so it's an actual crime here that's Ava did not get to hear Beatrice say, I love you back. So somebody make the petition to arrest Netflix because this is a crime, actually.
There are so many crimes that need arresting for, but this one should be at the front of the...
This should be a federal offense.
Yes. All the federals. I mean, the other world federals.
Like, yeah, like Geneva Convention.
Yeah, exactly. This is a war crime. Thank you very much. Well, and this is where we get to the part where that one tear slides from Beatrice's face. And I'm like, yeah, because you didn't say I love you in time.
So you gotta break out the single tear. Girl, this was your fault. You could have said it.
Yeah, and I mean, you feel like Beatrice just realized, like, it sinks in what just happened, and she starts to kind of hyperventilate a little and is like panicking, and Lilith is like, girl, it's okay. You did what you had to do. You should have said that earlier, but
yeah, what the fuck?
I get it, I guess.
Maybe if you kept me around, I would have told you to say this shit.
If you had remembered I existed,
right?
Maybe I could have like smashed your heads together.
This is a little revenge. She's like, if I was around sooner, we would be here. But okay.
But no, you're saying I love you to your wife as she's already gone. So good job, bitch. So she drops a little more cryptic knowledge of there's a holy war coming, and I hope we end up on the same side. Hi, you have a choice in that.
I know. What the hell?
I know that you know stuff that
Beatrice
doesn't know.
For sure.
Beatrice is obviously the last one to get any memo in the existence of any reality, because Ava, and Ava's been obfuscating around Beatrice, and Lilith is dropping cryptic shit. So they have access to these beings from the other side and know all this information. Can you not just say it plain?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Well said.
So I get it. We need plot, but
yeah. Simon likes his
anyway,
hints, but for real, come on now.
we didn't get a continuation, so we don't know. Yeah. But Lilith beats it out of there, leaving Beatrice to suffer, sitting on the ark in yet another symbolic, super feelings heavy shot of Beatrice alone with the portal that Ava disappeared through behind her.
Yeah, and she cannot follow.
She can only go forward.
In this big, giant, dramatic room she's sitting in. It's like she's in a room big enough to hold all her feels right now.
Yes. I don't know if it is big enough, quite honestly.
I don't know either. But okay, I have to point something out during when they were just to hurt everyone a little bit more. When they were I'm sorry, but when like they prop Ava up on the bench before she goes into the portal, Ava tries to lean back into the portal. And Beatrice holds her and prevents her from going. That's when she says, "Let me go." Because like she tries to go and Beatrice is like, "No," like holding her. Yeah. And that fact hurts me every day. Sorry, Bree.
It's all right. I'll go watch some dumb YouTube shit to forget.
I know. Just watch a compilation video. It'll be all right.
All the times they've been gay together, which is every time they've been in a room.
Yes, I know. So we fade out from Beatrice with her feels. And we get the name Simon Barry that flashes across the screen a few times. Writer, director, creator. And then for some reason we start flying over a field, headed for the OCS compound, somewhere in Europe, I think. I don't know where we are. We land on a fly-ass looking Beatrice, toying with her OCS necklace and looking at the toothpick under a glass. And I guess time has passed. Who knows? Because she's in street clothes. Like the whole OCS is like back in their swing. They're fighting. There's new recruits. She got no habit on. This outfit also just damn. I'm gonna hydrate for the outfit. Because enough time has clearly passed for Beatrice to get a brand new wardrobe. And like, goddamn, she's slaying. And she's having thoughts while she's staring at the sword, and which we're not privy to. And then Mother Superior walks up and she's like, well, the new recruits are ready for you, Beatrice. And Beatrice is like, well, not today. I'm leaving. And she's got like a duffel bag and she's like, someone else is going to have to teach them. And she walks the fuck out of there past Camilla, who like pats her on the arm and like recruits training. And Yasmine, my favorite part is Yaz is in her full OCS attire. She got her own uniform. She's an official sister. So like, you know, what Ava did was some bullshit to anoint her. And she's like fully like in the thing now, which is so great. It's what she deserves. And Beatrice leaves. And then we hard cut back to the sword and zoom in really, really slowly until it lights up with blue, which we all know only happens when the halo is nearby. And we got confirmation from Simon that means Ava's back in this realm. And then it ends. And I'm hoping that Ava she has to be close enough for that to happen, because it doesn't just happen when she's on Earth. And I'm hoping that she's meeting Beatrice to make out somewhere. I'm just throwing that out there because it ends and we don't know. But that's what I think happens.
Because, you know, she come back with also some Superfly clothing from the other realm. And then they just hang out.
They're dressed for a date. I don't know. Yeah.
Maybe somehow she got a message through the portal. I know you said that you love me. I heard it 9 years later when it got to me.
For real. And like, meet me at our spot at 9 p.m. Exactly. You're just like, I gotta go to Switzerland or wherever.
GTG, peace, train the recruits, enjoy. I'm outie.
I'm gonna live my life.
I got a date.
Yeah, so she's about to live her life and Ava's back. And it ends because Netflix says so.
Fuck Netflix.
Fuck Netflix. Well, we've made it to the end of Warrior Nun season 2. So now it's time to get on our hydration scale. So how many shots for By Jesus for the episode and then the season?
For the episode 10,
Yes.
For the season, I cannot, because if I did, I'd have alcohol poisoning.
Fair. All right. So, all right. Yeah, I agree. This is a 10. Well done. Everything about it was great. The season. Yeah, enough shots that Jesus's apostles, the wine they were drinking at the Last Supper, that amount of alcohol.
Yes.
For the season. I think that's fair.
That's fair.
Yeah, that's fair.
Kaitlynn gives it a 7.
Oh, Kaitlynn gave her a rate? Yeah.
Kaitlynn, she put it in my notes.
Okay.
So Kaitlynn gives it a 7, especially with no ending.
Kaitlyn's salty about the kids leaving.
Fair.
Also fair. Yes. Tell us what you thought.
Please.
Obviously, you guys like it. We're just screaming about it for like
months. we're screaming. We want to talk about it. Okay.
We do. Yeah. Like we're here for all your feelings, happy and sad. Thank you guys again for coming on the Warrior Nun journey.
Listen, we share a brain cell, so we talk about this all the time.
We do.
Give us new brain cells to talk to.
The more brain cells, the merrier. And so we'll see what happens with the trilogy, quote unquote, the movie continuation, whatever. So hopefully we'll be back to happy watch or hate watch. We'll see.
Yes. Please let it be happy.
We just need some happiness. And we'll be covering other stuff in the meantime.
Yes. Look out for that.
Yes, look out for that. And before we sign off, Kaitlynn has a word of the day challenge for everybody. So if you've made it this far, to see how many people have made it this far, Kaitlynn challenges you to leave a review or a comment on whatever you're watching or listening to. The word that she wants you to spell without looking up. So just try to spell the word Beelzebub without looking it up and leave it as a comment or a review. For funsies.
I feel like that's...
And with that, we've been Big Gay Energy. If you like this episode, check out all our other episodes right here on YouTube. Please like, leave a comment below, and subscribe for more amazing super gay content.
If you'd like to support us, check out our merch store, or join our Patreon for early access to episodes, exclusive content, and so much more.
Until next time, stay safe and hydrate for lesbian Jesus.